the heck is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Story Motors podcast. My name is Robert. One of these guys is Mike. One of them is VerumDex, and one of them is our good friend Kozibear. We've got a whole goddamn gang of people today. Mike, are you opening up a beer?
Yes, I am.
First thing we're hearing on the podcast?
You're watching me pour into this giant Uline Yeti that I got when I was working at my warehouse job.
There we go.
You guys are so much more polite than the people that I typically podcast with. They typically open up their beer cans and loud just things that they ingest into their body while I'm in the middle of talking. So thank you for doing that ahead of time.
Yeah,
hey, you're welcome.
We're not rude. We might be drunks, but...
Okay, perfect.
This isn't my first go-around on a podcast. First time not being the host, which, man, let me tell you, that shit is sweet. Not having to do all the heavy lifting. Oh,
I'm gonna be honest. I love this. Anyway, we're drinking.
I'm glad you do. Talk to me in a couple years.
Dex, you have been on before. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing very good. How are you all doing?
I am doing great.
All right.
We've got all these. Oh my god! I got fireworks. I forget that I'm on a mic sometimes.
And I'll be drinking wine tonight. So.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
and
classy.
For the first time, our good friend, another KFBF, Kozibear. How are you today?
Hey, I am doing A-okay. I'm preparing for a little trip to good old Toronto, because normally I live in Montreal, and you got to go to Toronto when you got to get the good stuff, like your Whole Foods and all the other American brands that are scared of our French language. But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty sweet over here.
I just figured when you said the good stuff, you meant human interaction.
That's true. You know, it's we're going on a bit of a tangent here, but like, it's always weird to me, you know, growing up in Quebec, growing up in Montreal, you go on the metro, you walk down the street, you hear people speaking in French all the time. And I understand French well, but like, I've learned over time to just kind of drone it out. You go to Toronto, you go, you know, just a few miles away outside of the city of Montreal, and you walk around on the street and you hear everyone around you speak English. And it's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. This isn't normal. People aren't supposed to be speaking English all around me. Where are the French speakers? It's weird, man.
I mean, it's here in Utah. I mean, depending on where you walk around,
big French-speaking population. Yeah. Big French-speaking population.
Yeah, big French-speaking population here in Utah. A lot of wee-wees and what's another French stereotype? Sacre bleu.
Yeah.
That's all the French I know.
Calice.
Yeah, that and freedom fries and freedom toast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get you banned from all the podcast services for saying those words.
That's fair. I wasn't even sure Canada had internet, so the fact that you're here was.
Oh yeah.
I thought Trudeau got rid of it.
Great internet.
Yeah, I know. I actually think you guys have a much better internet service thing than we do it in the States, but that's neither here nor there. So today we're going to do something a bit fun. We've got one, maybe two games, depending on how long we want to go. But for those who don't know, and Kozibear, I'll let you kind of give a rundown a bit. But like I said, Kozibear is another kind of funny best friend. He's another Patreon member at a certain tier. That sounds bougie as fuck, but it's just, you know, whatever. That lets him call into the happy hour that they do every month. The happy hour just lets people call in, kind of talk to the host, kind of ask some questions. But Kozibear doesn't like to just call in and ask questions. Kozibear, you want to tell him what you do every month? Every month, I have to say, and it's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, for the record, I've done it consistently for the past several episodes, although I did miss a few months here and there. There were some things that came up that prevented me from doing so. When Kind of Funny opened up the kind of happy hour podcast, they were like, hey, come on, chat with the host, ask them whatever you want to talk to them about. And I was like, that sounds cool, but what if instead of doing that, I came on and did a fun little game show that I would improvise and come up with ahead of time. And so we've done things like, is it a Canadian town or a professional wrestler, where I name two names and ask them to guess, is this a Canadian town or is this the name of a professional wrestling ring name? We've done things like Alfredo Plays, where I'm like, here's a game that you can trade in for trade-in value at GameStop. How many plates of fettuccine Alfredo can you get based on the amount of money you get out of this game. All sorts of weird and wacky things like that. And so a couple days ago, slid into Mr. Hawks' DMs and was like, hey, it's a little awkward if I always find it a little bit embarrassing to slide into someone's DMs and be like, hey, you seem like you have a cool podcast. Can I be on it? And so it's like, well, let me plus this a little bit. What if I came on your podcast and I did a brand new visual game show segment, the kind of which you could never get on the Kind of Funny Happy Hour, because I can only appear there in incorporeal form with my voice only. And Mr. Hawks was like, yeah, sounds like a party. And so here I am with a little game show that I am calling Behind the Mask. And I believe that we have a little...
I think the music might be playing, but I don't know if the video is. So, well, if there's no video here...
Yeah, so...
I mean, you see it up here.
The idea with Behind the Mask is very simple. I have 7 different rounds of various images prepared. In each round, I'm going to show an iconic mask or helmet or some sort of piece or article of clothing that iconic video game characters have worn on their faces. And then underneath that particular piece of facewear, I'm going to show 3 different faces. And you have to guess which of those 3 different faces is the wearer of the corresponding mask / helmet / whatever it is. Some of these are going to be definitely easier than others because they'll be, rather iconic. Others might be a little bit more obscure, a little bit more challenging. Are we ready
Swear
to
to
go?
God, if you try to show me that Doom guy's real face is The Rock.
In fact, the Doomslayer was in consideration for one of the faces I wanted to show for this segment, but he is not in this. I can say that ahead of time.
Okay.
But is The Rock in this?
The Rock is not in this. I can confirm that as well.
All right.
So I
Not
just
confirming anything else.
I want to give myself a little high five. You guys can't see, like you guys here on the podcast, can't see the overlay that I made, but it's got the 3 of us at the bottom, myself, Dex, and Mike. And then up in the corner, as like the games master, is Kozibear. It says Story Motors Podcast, Game Night. And then we've got the big screen, because I'm at the bottom here. It looks nice. Go me. Go me.
Good
Good job, Robert.
Looking forward to seeing it in its finished form.
Yes.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump on to round 1. There is a good chance that you're familiar with the mask that is currently on screen. This is, of course, the Majora's Mask. Who was Majora? We don't fully know. Maybe there was an obscure semi-canon Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask manga that was released in the late 90s / early 2000s that delved more into this, but that is beside the point. The point that I'm actually trying to get to is that, as you can see right now on screen, you have these 3 faces. One of these 3 faces is the true face of the wearer of the Majora's Mask in The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Which is it?
The one on the right.
I'm gonna have to
Verum
go.
says the one
I'm
on
gonna
the
go
right.
with whatever the fuck Verum does, because I famously do not like the Zelda games and have never played this one.
Wow.
So actually,
Okay.
you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go with the middle. He's got big old teeth. He probably wants to hide them.
Then I'm going to go ahead and take the coward's route out and go ahead and get behind my boy Dex.
Yeah.
The correct answer is the one on the right. Of course, people that have played The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask will know that the wearer of the Majora's Mask is called Skull Kid. However, Skull Kid does not have a skull face. He is more akin to a scarecrow brought back to life through magical forces of the Kukiri Woods. And with that, it's time for round 2. What you see on screen right now is the mask worn by a certain character from the Street Fighter series. That character is a little character by the name of Vega, a longtime enemy of the Street Fighter combatants. He has appeared in many titles throughout the franchise. However, the particular title that I want to focus on today is Street Fighter V. At the bottom of the screen, you can see 3 different headshots of 3 different characters featured in Street Fighter V, but only one of them is Vega as he appears in Street Fighter V. Which one is it?
I'm gonna go with the middle one. The middle manager.
I'm gonna go with the left.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with the right.
Wow, we have a completely split room here. And the correct answer is the one on the left.
That was such a guess.
Damn it.
Hold on.
An interesting.
Real quick. I'm gonna pull something up here just so I can take notes, take scores, so we know that Dex beat us all.
Sure. Perfect. So, in Street Fighter V, let me tell you, Vega looks an awful lot like Ken. I very briefly thought about being especially evil and including a headshot of Ken to make the choice even more difficult to determine, but I figured, no, I'll go with 2 other blonde characters that look a little bit different just to make it a little bit more fair. The 2 other blonde characters that you saw on screen were Luke and Cody, who obviously are not Vega. So, with that out of the way, let's move on.
Wait, was Cody the one in the middle?
Cody was the one in the middle.
Fuck!
And you want to know what's funny? That why I chose the left one, because I was like, his hair would go over the mask this way, so that kind of makes sense.
Right.
See, and that's what I was like, well, maybe without the mask, he puts his hair back. But instead, it was just fucking Cody. And now I remember Street Fighter V with the blonde ass hair, and that was Cody fucking Rhodes. And he was dressed like Cody fucking Rhodes. God.
Let's move on to round 3.
Round 3.
What you see on screen, right in front of your eyes, is, of course, the helmet worn by one Isaac Clarke, the unfortunate engineer that finds himself imperiled on the Ishimura after it is infected by necromorphs and all manner of devious and dastardly spacey critters. Now, you guys are going to have to put on your super-duper glasses, super-duper thinking caps for this one, because we have a trio of redheads featured in games from the past several years, and you got to tell me which one is Isaac Clarke.
The first one.
One on the left.
So the one on the left.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go.
2 votes for the one on the left.
Make that 3 votes for the one on the left.
Because I
3
think I
votes
know
for
the
one
other
on the left.
2. Will I get an extra point if I can tell you the other 2 as well?
You know what? I won't reveal it, but you can go ahead and you can tell me what you think they are.
So
And
I
then I'll let you
think
know.
the one on the right is Cal Kestis from Star Wars Jedi. And then, unless I'm mistaken, the one in the middle, I don't want to say his name, but he's one of the bad guys in Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Ooh, if you had been able to tell me that was Cletus Cassidy.
That's the
aka
thing.
alter
Sorry, I
ego.
didn't want to say that because I didn't know if that. I didn't want to spoil it. I didn't remember his other name. He was like the leader of the fire group. But yeah, it's Cletus Cassidy, and he gets the symbiote, like a little bit of the symbiote right at the end of his little storyline.
You know what? For being considerate of the people out there that didn't want to be spoiled, I'm going to give you a 0.01 bonus point for that one. Maybe that'll help you out. But yes, the Mark Zuckerberg-looking fellow over on the left is Isaac Clarke, as he appears in the recent remake of Dead Space.
They did our boy Isaac dirty.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I will say, this particular headshot that I got of him was from one of the potential endings you can get in the game where Isaac Clarke's mind might not be perhaps fully put together anymore. And so he definitely doesn't look his best in that particular moment. Most of the time, I think he looks fine. All right. And with that taken care of, let's move on to round 4. What you're looking at right now on screen is
Skylander?
the Cornerstone mask, which is a mask worn by a particular mythical Pokemon introduced in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet called Overpon. What you're looking at right now on screen are the headshots of 3 different mythical Pokemon. Can you tell me which one is Ogerpon?
I'm gonna go with the one on the right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the middle one.
Okay.
I'm going with the left one.
Okay. Wow. Another split room. Another split room. And the correct answer is the middle one. That is Ogerpon's true appearance. It's a little bit, I will be honest, I was a little bit deceptive on this one because Ogerpon is naturally a part grass type Pokemon, but it can acquire various different masks that change its typing. So when it wears the Cornerstone mask, it becomes a rock type Pokemon. When it acquires the Hearthflame mask, another mask in the game, it becomes part fire type, and so on and so forth. But its sort of natural default typing is part grass, which is why it appears to have like a leaf on top of its head and whatnot. But good job. All right, that taken care of. It is time for round 5.
Sorry, I went
This
through
particular
I did
mask-
the middle one. I wanted to say that, but I was pouring my beer and then it overflowed a little bit. I went with the middle one
no.
because it had star eyes, and then the eyes on the mask were diamonds. So my stupid monkey brain was like shiny, shiny, shiny.
Yeah, but
I
it
knew
worked
the
out
left
for you.
one. I knew the left one wasn't it, and I knew it was between the middle and right, and the right looked more color coordinated with the mask, so I went with that one.
Well, you still yet have 3 more rounds to make up lost ground. For this particular round, round 5, I am showing on screen right now the mask of a musical artist that has appeared in many a video game, such as the DJ Hero series, among many others. Very others. Ugh, sometimes you misspeak when you're trying to remember a whole lot of words. Of course, you're looking right now at the helmet/mask of one dead mouse. But what does Dead Mouse look like if you take off his mask/helmet/headpiece/ whatever it is that you want to call it? Is it perhaps the individual on the left, perhaps the individual in the center, or perhaps the individual that I'm showing right now on screen on the right?
Fuck.
I'm gonna go.
I've actually.
I'm gonna go with the guy on the right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the guy on the right.
But it might be the guy on the left, because, I mean, I would want to hide that bald head and no fucking eyebrows. But
I know who the guy on the left is.
is it
I think I'll go with the
Steve
one on
from
the
the
right.
Jerry Springer Show?
No, it is
Well
not.
then. Dex,
Are you
what
ready
was your
to
guess?
reveal the answer?
To the right.
Okay.
To the right. Seems like we have 3 votes for the individual on the right. And the correct answer is indeed the individual on the right. The particular individual on the left was none other than Junkie XL himself, good old composer of Batman v Superman and many a famed DC movie. The person in the center, I'm probably going to blow a few minds with this one, is Skrillex in his
what?
current modern day
What?
incarnation.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's
Damn,
familiar
whoa.
with the weird dreadlock thing he had going on in the early 2010s, but that's what he looks like right now.
Oh god.
Our boys come a long way.
Yeah.
Getting booted from a
Yes.
screamo
I remember
band.
Bangarang, and that's the bitch I have of him.
Getting booted
All
from a
right.
band, making some music in his living room on borrowed equipment, and now looking like that. It's come a long way, baby.
Time for round 6. What you're looking at right here is the mask, cobbled together from various pieces of equipment, worn by Corvo Attano in the Dishonored series, specifically the mask that he wears in Dishonored 1. What you're looking at right now on screen are 3 different possible faces that you might gaze your eyes upon were you to ever lift off his mask, which would probably mean within the fiction of the Dishonored universe that you had probably succeeded in killing Corvo Attano, which would be quite the considerable feat. Can you tell me what his true face looks like?
I'm gonna go with the middle one. I'll be honest, I've never fully finished Dishonored.
I'm gonna go with the left.
I'm gonna go with the right.
Wow. A split
Split
room
room.
once again. What could the true answer be? What could it be? The answer is the face on the left.
Could have been the middle. That's Paul Hollywood.
The face on the right is Bruce Wayne from Batman Arkham Knight. The face in the center, I am kicking myself because I forget what he's called, but he is a character from Castlevania Lords of Shadow, portrayed by Patrick Stewart. He is, I won't go into his whole backstory because I would get into spoilers, but he's kind of like one of your companions within the order of people that maintain righteousness in the world of Castlevania. He was a cool character.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason, I thought the dude on the right, for whatever reason, I was like, that guy's from a Final Fantasy game, right? No.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we've arrived at the final round, round 7. What you're looking at right now on screen is the helmet worn by users that wear the nanosuit from the Crisis series. However, the helmet that you're looking at right now on screen is, in fact, the helmet specifically from Crisis 3. Not Crisis 1, not Crisis Warhead, the expansion / semi-sequel to Crisis 1, not Crisis 2, not Crisis the comic book series, not Crisis the behind-the-scenes making of documentary, talking about Crisis 3. What you're looking at right now are one of the 3 possible faces of the people that you would find were you to remove that helmet in Crisis 3. Who is the person behind the mask from Crisis 3?
You know what? I'm pretty sure I read that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on Crisis 3, so I'm going to go with the guy in the middle.
Oh, no. Their legacy extends that far back?
That far back.
I'm also going to go with the one in the middle.
You know what? Screw it. Middle.
Everybody has chosen
Mike,
the
live your
middle
life.
option.
Mike, live your life.
Fine, left.
All right, there we go.
Everybody has chosen the middle option, and the correct answer is indeed the character in the middle. The face that you're currently gazing upon is Prophet, who is the main character that you play as in Crisis 3. The character that you briefly saw on the left was Nomad, who is the protagonist of Crisis 1. And on the right is Psycho, dude? Who is... no, these are all from...
okay.
These are all from Crisis. Character on the right is Psycho from Crisis Warhead, and he's also one of your erstwhile companions throughout the other Crisis games. And that is the end of... I actually forgot the name of my game for a second. Behind the Mask. Join us next time for another installment of Behind the Mask, or maybe something entirely different. And that is that.
Thank you. Oh my god. So, just final score. Dex wins.
By the way, can I stop sharing the screen, or?
Oh, let me switch over real quick. We are still recording. Yep. So go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. And there we go.
Beautiful.
Oh,
perfect.
That just. Yep. Hold on. We're gonna have to cut.
Did it mess up?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Give me just a sec. And then we've got a second game where we're doing a little movie draft, y'all.
I am disappointed that there's no Rotten Tomatoes score on this list for Elf Bowling the movie. I saw that last year. It's a good time. Did you know that they go to Fiji in that movie? The whole plot is that they go to Fiji.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know they made that movie.
Yeah, they got money from the government of Fiji. That is an actual true fact.
What?
Yeah.
That just makes me wonder what kind of small island nation I can con out of some money. I got enough friends that composes a film crew. We can make this happen.
Yeah.
Just go rent some stuff and then...
Oh, I don't have to rent some stuff. One of the guys has a lot of film equipment, so problem solved.
Also, quick question. Do these have to be in a specific order, or are we good just to cut them wherever?
Dex, what you are going to do... y'all can see the screen, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So...
Dex, you're the judge.
Yeah.
I am the judge.
So you have your list.
I have that, yeah.
Okay. And
yes.
we're recording. We've been recording this whole fucking time, but now we are back. We've got the right screen on. So Perfect. Okay. Everybody can still hear us. Wow, Dex.
Oh.
But so what we're gonna do here? Well, welcome back. This is game 2. As you can see now, Dex is in the top.
Lording over us.
Yeah, Judge Dex is at the top. Kozibear is down here with the peasants, and he is playing the game with us. So this is not full beer, so I'm going to have to get another one of these soon. Hi. But what we're doing here today...
prepared, son.
Yeah, we had... it's in the fridge. It's right over there. It's right over there.
Right over there, ate right next to you in a bag.
We're going to be doing a little draft. And we've got Judge Dex here to tell us who is going to win. And also, I mean, maybe we get extra points. So what we're going to do is we are going to be drafting the best video game movie/TV show adaptations of all time. I've got my list in order, but if somebody has picked something before it gets to me, that's obviously off the board. And if any of our picks happen to match any from Judge Dex's picks, he will let us know. We will put it in his list, and we'll see if we fill up his list or not. And then at the end of it, we're going to let Judge Dex tell us who the winner is, and then we will go to, the Twitters and ask you all who the winner is here. So, are you guys ready?
I am now.
Yepperoonie.
Okay, Dex,
Yep.
do you have a coin?
I have Siri.
Good enough. We're going to flip a Siri to see who goes
I've got
first,
a big old
second,
box of
third.
dice.
Yeah. Or dice. Yeah, either or.
All right, are we going one by one? Or
No, just I don't know. Pick just have Siri pull up a random number generator, like 1 through 6. I could be 1 and 2. Robert could be 3 and 4, and our friend from the north can be 5 and 6.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's like I've done this
Okay.
before.
give me a number between 1 and 6. 3.
Okay. Well,
All right.
That's me.
Look at you.
Okay, so I am
look at you.
first. Who's going to be second then?
Let's go Cozy, then Mike.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I wanted to nominate myself for second place, but I felt guilty about doing so. So I'm glad that you took the wheel.
I figured like we'd have host, guest, host.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm just going to switch the names here and then, yeah. Perfect. Okay.
right.
Oh. Oof. All right. First
Oh.
pick. First pick. Is a big one. I think actually no. I was hoping that I would get the first pick because I know what I'm going to do. And for my first pick in the great video game adaptation draft of 2015, I'm going to go with a TV show called Fallout
You son of a bitch.
on Amazon Prime. Season 1 came out this year. We did a whole bunch of fucking episodes about it, and it was goddamn near perfect.
We were going to do one episode on it.
We were.
Then.
And that one first episode went 2 hours, and we talked about one episode of the show, and then it's like, we're doing a series.
Yup. That quickly got away from us. Oh,
I'm not
man.
going to lie. Of course, I was briefed ahead of time of what this segment was going to be, but I completely forgot that we could include TV shows based on video games.
Yeah.
This changes everything, honestly.
Yeah.
But I will stick the path for now.
Well,
Is it my
Dex
turn to go, or do you
was
want
this on your list
talk
at all?
about Fallout?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Dex has shitty tastes.
I actively tried to. I picked things I genuinely liked overall, but I also tried to get things that you guys may not get.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I legitimately love Fallout, and I'm not picking it because it's the newest one. I'm picking it because I think it might be my favorite video game adaptation of all time. Because I love the source material, and they did a killer job with it. So
Yeah, no, it's a great show. It's a
Yeah,
great choice.
okay,
Cozy.
Kozibear is on the clock.
All right. My first pick is perhaps not going to be what you're going to expect. So,
Swear to God, if you say
here's the
Juve
thing.
Ball's Far Cry,
No. I'm not.
If you
I'm
dig
not
up some
touching the
obscure
bubbles.
Dead or Alive extreme beach volleyball movie, I am flying up there.
I don't think there's any beach volleyball movie. I'm a huge fan of
Maybe
the
maybe
Pokemon.
not on the internet in Canada.
I'm a huge fan of the Pokemons, and I know you're probably thinking, "Oh, you're going to draft Detective Pikachu." I have a lot of respect for Detective Pikachu. I think it's a good movie. However, that is not the Pokemon movie I'm going to be drafting. You're probably now thinking, "Oh, you're probably going to draft the first Pokemon movie." Another movie I have a lot of respect to, some very heartbreaking moments. No, I'm not drafting the first movie, not drafting the second movie, not drafting the third movie, not even drafting the fourth movie. I am drafting the fifth Pokemon movie, Pokemon Heroes. The premise of this movie, just very quickly, because I suspect nobody here knows what Pokemon Heroes is about, is Ash and company go to a medieval town that is based on Venice. They meet the legendary Pokemon of Latios and Latias, who can make themselves invisible and transform into various people. They confront a bunch of
I don't know if that's game accurate,
villainous
but
people that control a machine that can do a bunch of shitty things. They defeat them, but in the process of doing so, Latios takes its own life, and it's very tragic. And at the very end, Latios transforms into a girl and kisses Ash. That is actually something that happens in this movie. And so for having a whole lot of cool stuff in it, including Ash and Pokemon having some interspecies relationships, question mark, and also being a movie that I watched many times in the past on DVD, I'm putting Pokemon Heroes as my first pick.
your number one pick, Pokemon Heroes. Now, Dex, is that on your list?
It is not.
Okay, I actually do have the every Pokemon movie, every Pokemon anime, every Pokemon movie actually, anime, live action. There's only one on my Plex, so I put them on there because my nephew loves Pokemon.
Nice.
I won't say which one, but I do have something Pokemon on my list. And I do love Heroes because that opening sequence is really fun where they're doing the water races and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
it's
so
really,
you have
it's really
seen
cool.
Pokemon Heroes.
Yes, I've seen basically almost all of them.
Yeah, I will say Pokemon Heroes, it's not necessarily a super highly rated movie. I think it has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, but you can't trust those
okay,
people.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, come on.
That opening sequence, recently on Twitter, you see people often reminisce of man, the early 2000s, what a great time for animation. You had movies like Tarzan and Treasure Planet that were mixing 2D and 3D together in really interesting, visually inventive ways. And that opening sequence where they're racing features a lot of that stuff as well. It's really good.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
There we go. All right, Mike. And actually, really quick before Mike goes,
Yeah.
Dex can't see once again the fun game night screen that I made, but it just happens to be in order of me, Cozy, Mike at the bottom of the screen. So yeah,
It was destiny. It was fate.
Serendipitous, I think, is the word. That might not be right. I don't know. I don't watch PSAT films.
Nice.
All right, Mikey.
Nice. Alrighty. So, one of my favorite series of games is Final Fantasy series. I've
Piece
played.
of shit.
Oh. So there were a couple Final Fantasy films that I own. They're in a big plastic tub in my storage unit that I feel I should break out at some point in time, assuming we have something to watch physical media on. Looking at Robert.
I'll be honest,
How he's the only one.
I legitimately just bought a stack of DVDs on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I went to quick tangent, sorry. I went to GCW Save Me here in Salt Lake City. Fucking incredible wrestling show. But GCW's ring announcer, MLJ, I think it's MLJ. I know it's Emil. I think the last name is J. He is just a massive, obviously, wrestling fan from throughout the years. And he just had he's like a couple years ago, I remember he's like, I have a shitload of just old wrestling footage on my computer. Would anybody be interested if I just made some DVDs of just random shit, packaged them up, and sold them at shows? And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, that's cool. So he's been doing it ever since. So GCW came here finally, and during I think right before the show started, he was passing me, and I was like, Emma, what's up? And he's like, hey, and I'm like, you got your DVDs with you? And he's like, oh fuck yeah, I'll see you after the show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was like a little stack of 5 burned DVDs that were just completely
Yes.
random, wrapped in newspaper, and the one that I picked was wrapped in the newspaper talking about the WrestleMania 39 main event from now, a year and a half ago. And I was like, I feel like I have to go with this one. And yeah, there's some there's an Arnatoli. I think there's one of them is like War Revolution, which, unless I'm mistaken, War is like a Japanese fucking insane deathmatch company.
Jesus.
So yeah, just bought like 5 random ass wrestling DVDs. So I'm gonna have to find a way to fucking watch goddamn physical media.
I actually have a funny
Wow.
story with like burned media because like when I was a kid, it was around the time when the second Pirates of the Caribbean came out, and we all of a sudden had it on DVD. But I was like, I'm pretty sure it's still in theaters, but it's really cool we have it on DVD. And then as I got older, I was like, wait, we definitely had like bootleg versions of all these movies. That's why we had them early.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice.
They were like in their own little like thin like almost like PS1 size like cases.
All
Very
right.
nice. Anyway, did
Final
Robert just
Fantasy.
Did Robert just get up and leave in the middle of this thing?
I
he didn't
said
want to
I'm
hear me
listening.
talk.
Okay, Jesus. I just
Yeah,
looked
Dex was
down
talking
and there's just
about
an empty chair.
Breaking copyright laws with his
Yeah,
family.
That's fine.
at like
That's
at like
fine.
12 years old. Like God.
I do remember going into, I think, our last year of like one of our high school grades, and it was when Star Wars Episode 3 was in theaters, and the work print had leaked online, and somebody
Hey.
downloaded it and brought it in, and our teacher didn't realize, I guess just didn't know what fucking copyright laws were, and was like, yeah, go ahead and put Star Wars on the TV, I don't give a shit.
Wow.
Before I get back to my pick, somebody in my friend group in high school, their mother was somehow involved with the MPAA, so she would get advanced screening copies and like weird cuts of movies that she would then watch and take notes on and then send the notes back. But they never asked for the movies back. So yeah, I watched The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, like a year and a half before anybody did. And
Oh,
the
that's so
version
cool.
the version I watched is a little different than the one that showed up.
Way more full frontal male nudity.
Really, it's bordering on hardcore.
You get to see
but
those hobbit feet in close up. A whole
seriously,
There's a 10-minute scene of just showing fucking Elijah Wood's feet, and they're all hairy.
wow.
And he just breaks the
Just one
fourth
there.
wall, and he's like, "Are we still on my feet, dude? Come on, let's go." Yeah,
Pete,
but
what
Mike,
are you doing? Anyway,
Round
Final
one pick.
Fantasy Advent Children.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
I was like, it's either gonna be that or it's gonna be Spirit Within. I was gonna judge you if you said Spirit Within.
I own both. I've watched one more than once. I'll let you figure out which one that is.
Now, is this the version of the movie on Blu-ray or the PSP UMD?
Oh God, I've looked for the UMD for so long, but every one I found was just it was a price I was not willing to pay. So this is a DVD release.
Okay.
Yep. So
Are they different films?
I think they're slightly different cuts.
Okay.
I think the Blu-rays.
Like, I know obviously it's the same
and-
movie, but like,
There's,
Yeah, so go ahead, Cozy.
I was going to say, there's Advent Children Complete, which has like an additional 20 or so minutes, which was
Yeah.
only came out in like the subsequent re-releases of it.
Yeah.
I do not have the re-release. I have just bog standard. Michael got excited, went to an FYE when those things existed,
Yeah.
picked it up.
Yeah, the complete version does a lot for the Sephiroth fight at the end. Like, I feel like in the original, it's very rushed, but in
Wait,
the
it is.
Sephiroth's in
complete
that movie?
version,
Yeah.
yeah, because basically he has remnants who are like, I'm gonna say, lack for a better word, clones of him, and they're able to find Genova cells, which allow them to transform into him. So that's basically how one of them becomes Sephiroth, and that's the final showdown. And in the original, it's very kind of like rushed. It feels like it. Yeah, it's a cool battle, but I feel like the complete version adds more nuance and kind of cutscenes that like need to be there to make it feel more satisfying.
Yeah, it's one of those. I've seen both, and I really wish I had picked up the complete version at some point, or acquired a copy through
other means.
various means. Yeah, but no, I'm happy. Like, I do want to go dig out my PS2 and some games, and obviously some old DVDs so I can watch them. So, and Final Fantasy VII: The Spirits Within is going to be one of them for sure. Advent Children is going to be one of them for sure. Ah,
Yeah, Advent Children, like I think
God.
like it's like dialogue wise is not aged well, but like I still think animation wise it's not bad for
They use like the R word slur.
sure.
Because that'd be fucked up.
that'd be ridiculous.
No, it's just cringe. Like it's just not great dialogue
Alright,
a lot of the time. They just kind of say stuff and you're like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, Dex,
Shilly-dally,
is
shilly-shally.
Advent Children on your list?
It is not. I did consider it, but I was like, that's
Okay.
gonna be too easy.
Coward.
All right.
I know.
I feel like, okay, round 2, and I feel like I kind of want to go with one that I think might be off the board soon.
Okay.
And I think I will do that because I am going to go with one that I thought Kozibear was about to go with. Starring Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which I honestly didn't realize that was the actual name, is Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Pokemon : space detective space Pikachu.
Yeah. I gotta change the fucking font size on this shit, because that's a long-ass title. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that's... Here we go, that works.
Perfect. Or just center it and have like a couple big cells. I mean, you're the host here. I'm not telling you how to do this, but...
Yeah, well. I can read it. We can all read it. You can zoom in. Who gives a shit? No, Detective Pikachu, I think a lot of us, when we heard, oh, there's going to be a live-action Detective Pikachu movie, we're like, that's cool. Why? And then we found out that it was like, Ryan Reynolds and everything, and Ryan Reynolds actually is really good in it, and it actually does seem like he treats the source material with respect, as silly as it is. And really gets into the character of, his character being a Pikachu. But yeah, I think Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and we've had a recent a previous episode where we talked about game adaptations that we'd love to see, and I think one of my picks there was essentially a continuation of this world and this Detective Pikachu world as just like an ongoing like Netflix series. So Detective Pikachu is my number 2 pick in Le Draft.
Yeah.
I
I like this movie a lot. It was, tonally a little all over the place. There were definitely moments where I feel like got a little too silly for its own good, a little bit too Disney Channel movie-ish. Yeah. But it was an inspired choice to go with this for the first Pokemon movie. I actually think it was better that they went with this and say the standard Pokemon adventure story, which I know some people will vehemently disagree with me on that point.
Yeah.
But I hope we get to see more from this in the future.
I mean, I feel like this, the reason I think this is a better choice than the first, like an actual just straight up, let's say just like a live action version of the Pokemon, the first movie, is that you get to introduce the idea of Pokemon and characters and them being in the world without having to be like, oh yeah, and all they do is fight each other. And that's all they're good for. You know what I mean? Like you are seeing an entire world where Pokemon are living and breathing, and they're just in this one city, as opposed to a boy traveling around the world or whatever, trying to get all these badges and doing all this shit. So if whatever they do next, if they, if what is it? I think it's Legendary that was doing this one. If they can continue working in this world, whether it's a Detective Pikachu 2 or just another Pokemon story, fuck yeah, it's gonna look great. Looks cool as shit.
Yeah, I definitely when I watched this movie, I was like, this is probably the best outcome for a live action Pokemon that could have come out of it, because it could have been really bad, like easily really, really bad. But I feel like the tone and what they went with, without trying to be so serious as like necessarily like in the first movie or from the games or something like that, I think they were able to make something that actually was good rather than trying to fit everything from the games to make fans happy, I guess, in a way. And just seeing like Pokemon's exist, I guess, in a real way, like the battle arena kind of a thing, like underground battles are happening and stuff like that, I feel helps breathe life into that world and makes it feel a little bit more believable.
Yeah. So Dex, do you have this on your list?
I do not.
Wow. Okay. Someone's fucking fancy.
No, not that fancy.
All right, Cozy Bear.
Well,
Pick 2.
yeah, we'll see if this is
Pick number 2.
perhaps
Don't
at
pick
the
2.
level of
Yeah.
the level of fanciness that Dex is looking for. Like I mentioned earlier, I'd completely forgotten that we can include TV shows in this. So I'm going to go with a TV show that in some ways is very Pokemon-like, in other ways not so Pokemon-like. I'm going with the 3rd season of the Digimon TV show, Digimon Tamers. So the first 2 seasons of the Digimon TV show were Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure 2, which were both basically bled into each other. Both featured a lot of crossover of the same characters, dealing with similar villains. Digimon Tamers was effectively a soft reboot for the series. There were a few callbacks here and there to the first 2 seasons, but for the most part, didn't really feature a lot of crossover. Kind of featured a whole new cast dealing with a whole new problem. And I look back on this season as just a really great kind of self-contained Digimon story that I think did a really good job of balancing I think a lot of like moments of levity and like what you would expect out of a Digimon TV show, with also some like unexpectedly hardcore moments of darkness, moments of kind of character growth and
There's a yellow
sadness.
card that I'm pulling up.
Ooh.
Oh.
That is
Okay.
a challenge flag.
Oh no.
No, that's a red hanky. Throw that shit out.
Do I have to? Is the issue that I need to pitch the whole
No.
entire Digimon TV
No.
series?
We gotta.
Was Digimon a game before it was a show?
Technically, it was like a Tamagotchi kind of thing.
Was it?
For first, yeah.
Or was it?
Yes.
Or did they make the games? Because the first
game was
Digimon
first.
games that I remember were after the series had come out. I could be
Well-
wrong.
No, the first time Digimon came about was like a Tamagotchi kind of like thing, and
Okay.
then the series ended up falling after that, if I remember correctly.
And it's worth pointing out that the first 2 seasons of the TV show were like explicitly based on the PlayStation 1 Digimon video games.
Okay,
They
okay.
weren't based on the Tamagotchis.
Yeah, I didn't pick anything Digimon spoiler from that on my list because I was like, I don't know if we're going that far because I was like, it is technically a game before, but it's like a Tamagotchi,
Yeah.
so I wasn't sure where we were landing on that side.
Yeah.
Picking anything Digimon.
But yeah, Digimon Tamers, a surprisingly mature but still very fun animated season of the Digimon TV show. It is my pick for round 2.
I
Is
loved
that
watching that
so?
growing
Is
up.
the season 3 just called Digimon Tamers, or is there was that a series?
Just Digimon Tamers.
Yeah,
Okay.
Digimon Tamers. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're good.
that's good.
Yeah, I loved watching it. And, like, it's so goofy watching it now, but back like as a kid, them like doing all like the weird moves, like the cards, and they're like, I love that.
Yeah, because I honestly thought about Digimon, but I wasn't sure what came first.
Yeah, so it was originally like in your pocket Tamagotchi kind
Yeah.
of style thing.
Yeah. It was like a Tamagotchi for boys, basically. Was kind of like I just looked at the Wikipedia article. That's kind of like the elevator pitch was, yeah, little girls like Tamagotchis because again, like care for them and do motherly shit, but boys like to raise things to fight each other. So why don't we do that? And here you go.
Fair enough. Fair
Yep.
enough. All right then. All right. And Dex said there's no Digimon on his list, so
Still a great choice though.
Maggle,
All right.
Pat something. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
pick number 2 for you.
All right, I got to go with my heart on this one. This is a terrible movie by all accounts. But Hawks, why are you laughing? Let me make my goddamn point first. It is a terrible movie filled with people who cannot act and a couple people who kind of can and fucking one man just ass off dragging this thing, kicking and screaming to the end of its 102-minute runtime. That man dragging this shit, kicking and screaming was Raul Julia, and one of the people who can't fucking act is Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm
Great
talking about the
movie.
1994 Street Fighter
Street Fighter
live
Fantastic
action movie.
Yeah.
It is Raul Julia, amazing actor.
Yeah.
Like, I have seen him in just some random ass
This
shit, and
movie
he is
killed
ass off
him.
in everything. He was
Oh,
dying
I
before
was gonna
this.
say.
Now, don't,
I was gonna say.
people say that.
No. All right, we can get to something a little later that I stand by as somebody's last film, and then something came out decades after his death, which I think is horse shit, but that's neither here nor there.
Fair play.
No, Raul Julia famously had, I believe it was stomach cancer, and then he died of a stroke 2 months before the film's release. But he did the movie because his kids were fans of the games.
Yeah.
So he's like, sure, I'll do it. Gets them paid, and that's something that they can be like, my dad is involved in this thing I love. Perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just yet another example of Jean-Claude Van Damme being a good-looking dude who can, I guess, do the splits, but can't act for fucking shit.
He can do the splits and a fucking roundhouse kick.
Mm-hmm. God, I keep forgetting Kylie Minogue was in this, too.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, this was
Cammy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because
I wanna-
Ming-Na Wen was Chun-Li. Surprise, surprise.
I have a lot of love for this movie. I mean, it's definitely not a great movie. The story that I've heard about this movie that I think explains a lot is movie was directed and its screenplay was written by Stephen E. D'Souza. And supposedly, apparently early on in the movie's production, he had a meeting with a bunch of people from Capcom to discuss the story of the movie. And he did this little exercise where it's like, hey, can you guys name the 7 dwarves from Snow White and the 7 Dwarves? And they went through the list. They're like, there's Sleepy, Eric, Carl, all the 7 dwarves.
Yes,
And
the famous
they, they struggle to get the 7. And he's like, okay, the reason why I made you do that exercise is to illustrate that human beings have a lot of difficulty remembering more than 7 numbers, 7 characters, 7 things. There are a lot of Street Fighters in the Street Fighter universe, but we got to keep the cast pretty contained. I think that we got to keep it at around 7 and no more. And as evidenced by the final finished product, he clearly lost that battle because there are a million characters in the movie, and it's very hard to keep track of them.
Yeah.
And I do want to just run down some of the other things that Stephen E. D'Souza has his name attached to as a screenwriter. We have Commando,
Great
Die
movie.
Hard, 48
Fantastic.
Hours, The Running
Ooh, yeah.
Man.
Good movie.
Yeah, like these are like great movies, and then Judge Dredd's in there, which is objectively hilarious. But I mean, it's like he was nominated twice for the Edgar Allan Poe Award.
Hold on, did he come up with the 3 seashells?
No,
or was that Demolition Man?
Interesting.
That's
Demolition Man.
Fuck me then.
You tried.
I did.
I love that you did, and I never want you to stop.
He did try.
Yep. But yeah, no, Street Fighter, the live-action 1994 film, that is my pick.
All right then. Dex, is that on yours, or were you not alive then?
I was... Wait, what year did it come out, did you say?
1994.
Oh, I was born that year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
all right.
depending on the month,
as we now know,
VerumDex.
VerumDex was created during one of the screenings of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So he was conceived in the theater.
It was not on my list, but back to our Digimon conversation, I think I have one on here that you guys are going to challenge. Now that I think about it.
I'm going to fight you. I'm going to street fight you.
Yeah, you probably are.
Looking forward to it.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to go with one that I don't know if anybody else is going to have on their list, but it is a movie that came out a couple of years ago now that I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did, but I really did. It's got Sam Richardson in it as the main character. He plays a sheriff going to a small town. It has the AT&T girl whose name I can't pronounce. And it is based on a Ubisoft series called Werewolves Within.
This movie.
Okay.
Which I did not even realize. I knew it was a Ubisoft thing, did not realize it was based on a video game. But the entire, the point of the story is this character, Sam Richardson, who is also in Detroiters. He's in a lot of, I think he's partners with Tim Robinson for I Think You Should Leave. He's also one of the side characters in, I think, seasons 2 and 3 of Ted Lasso. He plays the owner of the Nigerian soccer team who tries to buy Sam as a player.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Sam Richardson.
Right.
Yeah, he plays a sheriff, and it's been a couple years since I've seen it. I remember, but God damn it, Benji.
What's
Mike
Benji
knows what I
doing?
mean. Yeah. Benji just sent me a screenshot of a Hard Times article that says former child star drunkenly Googles "Where am I now?" which is something that Benji himself has legitimately Googled by himself when we were together in Louisville.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, but yeah, Werewolves Within. Sam Richardson plays a sheriff, and I believe he comes to this small town because of a report. He's from a bigger town where animals are getting eaten and people start disappearing. And throughout the movie, more and more people keep getting attacked, and it's got some pretty fucking gruesome shit, and it's dope as shit. It turns out that there's werewolves within the town who can actually just turn themselves into werewolves and are hiding, in between the public. And it's a really fun movie. It's a horror comedy, which are some of my favorite comedy movies. Check out Murders with Mertens. I was on there. Talked about The Final Girls, one of my favorite films. But horror comedies are movies that I just absolutely fucking love. And Werewolves Within, the cast is great, and the movie itself is cool, and I didn't see everything coming, even though I probably should have, but no. Highly recommended. Very fun movie. Very good movie. One of the best things Ubisoft has ever done.
Nice.
This movie is sort of technically asterisk the highest rated video game movie on Rotten Tomatoes. There is another movie, an animated Resident Evil movie called Resident Evil Damnation, which has a 100% rating, but that's also only off of 5 reviews, so I don't think we can fully count it.
Can't really.
5 people are like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
This movie is sitting at an 86, which is respectable, although it does, and for the record, I'm not disrespecting you picking this movie. It seems really solid, but I'm a little bit miffed that the highest rated video game movie is based on a game that technically wasn't a video game to begin with. But it's a legitimate pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, once again, a fun movie. I highly recommend everybody watch it.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Right. Dex, was this on your list?
No, I've never even heard of this, so
All right.
absolutely.
Well, you have now, motherfucker. I know what you're doing this weekend.
Yep.
Let me add it real quick.
Just throw that on the Plex server.
I got it on my Plex. I've had it on it the entire time.
Hell yeah.
Cozy.
All right, Cozy.
All right.
Let's see here. I've done a couple of animated properties in a row, so I feel like I might want to switch things up a little bit, insert a little bit of live action into this.
Did I
So you know
spell
what?
Tamers right? Why does that look wrong?
No, that's correct.
That's right.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right.
You're
Now,
literate.
I want to preface this by saying I've not actually seen this movie. However, I feel very confident in having my third pick be
I love this already.
put me on this one. The 2012 live-action Ace Attorney movie directed by Takahashi Miike.
Oh.
All right.
If you've seen footage of this movie online, I feel like they managed to figure out a way to kind of translate the weirdness of Ace Attorney's crazy courtroom battles into a way that sort of kind of makes sense in live action while still being very fantastical. And I've got to show respect for Takahashi Miike, a very cool ass Japanese director.
Is this a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney or Apollo Justice?
Yeah, this is Phoenix Wright, but
Okay.
I don't believe Apollo Justice does not appear in the movie. I believe. I might be wrong about that. I don't know. We'll see.
Phoenix Wright. And then we're just gonna, that works. But, you know what? We're gonna make it tiny. There we go.
I will say, if you want just to see some ridiculous like Phoenix Wright stuff. There is a Russian Badger video where he's doing an ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament amongst all of his friends.
Mhm.
And a lot of people had Phoenix Wright on there, and there are just some utterly hilarious clips of the things Phoenix Wright does in that fighting game. It is just like he just walks across the stage and just stares at somebody, backpedals, steps out of the way so somebody gets runs over by a dog. It's just the most ridiculous stuff.
And this, I'm assuming, Kozibear, this is a Japanese movie, right?
Yes.
It wasn't like I say
a-
that it sounds like it's a simple, easy question, but it's not just like one of those like, oh, it was a straight to DVD. Somebody picked up the license in America, right?
This was theatrically released in Japan. I don't
Okay.
believe it got a theatrical run in America. If it did, it probably was like a very small
It
Fathom
was,
event.
yeah, somebody was a fan
Yeah.
of the game and heard there was a movie and put it up in their theater.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like I've seen a few Gundam movies here at a theater in America, but like Cozy said, it was one of those Fathom events thing. But knowing full damn well they got huge theatrical releases in Japan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
There were a few things that I saw kind of like that if I'd seen them and they were good, I would have put them on here. I'll say them at the end, but yeah, there's been so many like cool ass live action adaptations of games in Japan that just never came over here. I say cool ass because they sound cool. They might be shit. But, you know.
So, as we all know, there's an upcoming Yakuza TV show.
Yep.
There was previously a live-action Yakuza movie that was also directed by Takahashi Miike, the same director as the Ace Attorney movie.
Yeah, that was like that's one that I've seen. I haven't like that it happened. I haven't watched it. But yeah, there's I think there might be multiple Yakuza movies. I could be wrong, or like a Dragon movies or whatever. At least one. I know at least one.
I am excited for that TV show, though.
Oh yeah, I think people who were like, "Oh, none of the actors played the game, so we could do our own characters." Cool, great. Then
As long as they do,
then I
like-
hope it doesn't feel like it's just somebody trying to be the Kiryu from the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I think if they do like the same kind of like idea and credence to the games like they did with Fallout, I think it'll be great.
yeah. So Dex, I feel like I know the answer. Was this on your list?
It was not. I've never seen this movie. I didn't even know it was a movie.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the Ace Attorney games?
I have. I know
Okay,
what they
good.
are. I just never played them, and I didn't know they made movies.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Nagel?
This is one, again, going with my heart because, like, there are so many of these I could just choose from, and I'm really not trying to win this thing, just because I don't think, I mean, winning is subjective, and also, I don't necessarily care that much, as I've just chugged 2 beers back to back,
Yeah.
so...
You don't
feel
care
pretty good
about my
things.
opinion? My God.
I care about your opinion. Why do you think I raid you every now and again? Love talking to you, see what you're doing.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Man, 8, 9, 10-year-old Michael, fat little boy here in northern Utah, going to Blockbuster, renting all sorts of dumb things.
Dex, Blockbuster was a
Including-
place that you could go to borrow DVD.
I've been to Blockbuster.
Okay.
I've also been to Hollywood Video.
Oh, wait. Kozibear is
was your
Canadian. Kozibear, Blockbuster was a place that you could go and
No,
rent.
we had a place called Videotron. There was a
Different.
Videotron
Yeah.
right
Different.
near to where I lived. It's a clothing store now. It's very sad.
That's a poutine place, I'm assuming.
That's always a bummer. The Blockbusters I went to as a child, one is now a shady, like, financial, like, thing. Like, you go in there and they try to help you with your debt. And the other one is an e-bike store.
Oh.
The one that I used to go to is just gone. They tore it down.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
The one
Alright.
I used to go to
I think they
is
built something there now, but like the actual building is gone.
No.
the one I used to go to is now a credit union. Then the Hollywood Video I used to go to is now a salon.
Wow.
Hollywood Video I used to go
Damn.
to was legitimately closed down for 10 plus years. The building was still there. And just last year, the year before, in the same little strip mall, there was a dance studio that they just
Yeah.
moved into that place. So,
Oh.
yeah.
All right. Well, man,
I'm
the
sad.
mid-90s was a thick run of
Friday
terrible...
night after
dude.
like the school week, and my parents. That's how I
Ooh.
played most video games a lot of the time for
Oh,
a
hell
while.
yeah.
Oh, dude. Like, we can get into what we did on the weekends as
That's
children.
different episode.
That's a
Different episode.
that's
We'll
a
talk
different
about how we.
podcast.
We'll talk
No,
about how
I'm-
we, found our penises later. But
I'm taking the 1995 Paul W.S. Anderson helmed Mortal Kombat film.
God damn it.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh, was it good? No.
No.
Was there anybody in there that you knew? Christopher Lambert of Highlander
No.
fame.
I am Christopher Lambert.
Anything else? Nope. But here's the thing: it was a legit
My
hit.
forehead is eternal.
$20 million budget, $122 million in the box office, certified
Incredible.
hit.
I
A little
watched-
over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
God, it is something. I've done this more times than I like to admit, but just getting absolutely trashed by myself on a weekend afternoon and throw this on. And oh boy, it gets way better the more
Yeah.
chemicals you've ingested.
Yeah.
I remember watching this a ton as a kid, and the sequel, like,
Oh,
I
dude.
was just-
Sequel's dog
that,
shit.
like when I was a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And I was like, yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got to go watch you got to go back to back, original into the sequel, like right into it.
That's going to be our extra life stream. Is us watching that in Discord, just drinking.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be doing other things in addition to drinking, sir.
That's fine. I mean, as long as you share. I have good internet.
Anything
Go ahead
for
and
you,
come on
buddy.
over here, bud.
Me and old Winston here. We're going to show up.
You can sleep on the couch. Kozibear, did they get Mortal Kombat in Canada?
Oh no. We got all these movies. Don't you worry.
Okay.
We including the Mortal Kombats.
I just
as
figured
we like
Canada
to call
might
it,
have, higher standards.
Le Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
we
they-
call it up here.
We got milk and bags up there. Higher standards, my ass.
Yeah. Everybody always brings up the milk in the bags. Like you'll be walking down the street in America, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're from the Canada, or to Battle Francais? Oh, you have the milk in the bags." I'm tired of hearing people talk about that. To be
I mean,
honest,
listen,
No,
everything
you
else
got
that I
milk
could
in
bring
bags,
up.
and you have don't you have fucking containers that they go into?
I mean,
Isn't that the
yes,
thing?
technically.
Like you put the
Yes.
milk in the bag in the container,
like
and
the
then it's
milk-
just a fucking container of milk.
We
Yeah,
do-
like
The thing is not everybody drinks the milk in bags. Though we just have cartons of milk in our fridge upstairs. We don't use the bagged milk at all.
yeah, no, I was about to say, like, isn't like I thought I read somewhere that the bagged milk is kind of like fading out.
Yeah, it's definitely not as popular as it once was. It's
Yeah.
I mean, you can still buy it in stores. I can go
Oh,
to
yeah.
my local grocery store and get it there, but it's not super
Oh, yeah.
popular.
I have a
Oh, yeah.
question. Do you hate more the milk in bags or people saying like A after everything?
I mean, the whole A thing is not representative at all in terms of where I live and how people.
I thought you were
speak
going to
where I
say the
live.
whole A thing is completely accurate, so it's fine.
And so when people
More
say,
accurate Canada.
and so when people say that stuff, when they make fun of me that way, I'm like, I mean, this isn't even any reality that I know of, so I can't
Yeah.
even really be angry at it. It's just weird.
Gotcha. You're just like this is so far removed from me, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, yes, I've also seen Degrassi. I guess I don't know. What do you want me to say?
I've not, but anyways.
I've seen Aubrey in the wheelchair. It's fine.
Dex, Mortal Kombat, OG.
No, I did think
Yeah.
about it, but I was like, no.
It's fair. That's
Ah, damn it. And also,
fair.
real quick before we move off this, Cozy, all of the other food stuffs I could bring up about Canada is stuff I'm insanely jealous of that we don't have here.
Hell
For one
yeah.
summer, we had all dressed ruffles, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
just,
Good
oh,
chips.
god damn. I was on, I've been chasing that high for so long because they just took them away.
On one of my recent cooking streams, I actually made pork chops that were crusted with ground up all dressed ruffles as
Son
one
of
of
a
my
bitch.
dishes.
God damn it.
Very tasty. Very tasty.
I'm doing this because I feel like my heart would stop with that, but
Why do you think, Robert? I was like that, but then I started going to the gym, and then I started taking this shit before going to the gym, which is 365 fucking milligrams of
Brother,
caffeine in it, which gets me through so much.
I have signed up for an adult kickball league that starts next month. All right?
Let's go.
All right.
So that's going to be my fucking exercise for the week, is doing kickball with
As a,
with a bunch of other LGBTQ plus members in a
That's awesome.
group. So
man, that is, as opposed to me and my buddies just going to the gym and just saying things just like, "You're so big, I want to fuck you right now," and just getting weird looks from everybody.
I'll still say that. I don't give a
This
shit.
is what we do. There you go.
Yeah. Real quick.
yeah,
See if I can get kicked out of a gym in Provo.
Kozibear, as a Canuck, can you just...
Yes.
What the fuck is Tim Hortons? Is
All
it
the
just
Canadian
Dunkin'
questions.
Donuts?
I mean, yeah, basically.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
our... I mean, a closer equivalent would be it's Starbucks, but it's weird because here in Montreal, in the Quebec area, Tim Hortons basically drove out Dunkin' Donuts. We don't have Dunkin' Donuts here in the state of in the province of Quebec. Oof, so your American
was about-
rubbing off of me.
I was
We don't
about to
have
say.
Dunkin' Donuts anymore. But we do still have Starbucks. But again, if I were to draw an equivalency, it's more akin to Starbucks than it is to
Really?
Dunkin'
Because I
Donuts.
thought it was more
Like, yeah.
donuts. Is it more like...
It
Because Starbucks is
It's-
obviously like, it's coffee and then you've got pastries.
I mean,
Whereas
some
Dunkin'
people
is
will
donuts and then
disagree.
you got coffee.
Some people will definitely disagree with me on this, but like Tim's is one of those brands that's really like branched out over the past several years. Obviously, donuts and coffee is sort of like the classic Tim Hortons image, but they have a lot of stuff nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah, all year.
Like, I don't know how you guys.
Day.
I don't know how you guys feel about Dunkin' Donuts, but I've never been to a place that named itself after something and had the most mediocre thing of that thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
one of the biggest fights I've had with one of my best friends was we were leaving Las Vegas and he dragged me to a truck stop that had a Dunkin' Donuts in it. And I am violently hungover. Like, it was the week of SEMA, this like industry only car show that I could get into because I was media. And so I'm violently hungover, facing a 6-hour drive back up here to Salt Lake in a Jeep. One of the worst things to take on the highway.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Nah, man, this is going to make everything way better." And oh boy, the coffee was serviceable. The donuts were a waste.
Donuts are shit.
And I yelled at him.
Donuts.
I yelled at him until we got to St. George. It was a 2-hour drive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
pull over. We're going to fucking Jack in the Box.
We didn't
See,
have
I
a
will-
Dunkin' Donuts for the longest time, and we finally got one. We were like, okay, we're gonna get the donuts. We got like a baker's dozen. I tried them, like, the
They're
fuck
donuts.
is this shit?
They're donuts, man. Nah,
I
there
would-
is.
The thing is I would never call Dunkin' Donuts, offerings particularly amazing, but it's always a treat for me whenever I visit one because again, we don't have them in
Yeah.
the
No, that's
province
totally
in which I
fair.
live. So
Oh, yeah. No,
I get that. I get that.
That is when I would visit family in Illinois, and I would go to Hardee's instead of Carl's Jr. And I'm just like,
Oh.
hell yeah! I'm like, it's
different.
effectively the same. It's effectively the same thing, but it's a little different. I'm like, hell yeah!
Well, I'm also super biased because we have a local place called Doughboys here. That's like, I think
Oh.
like top tier like donuts. Like, it's
Oh
so
my god!
good.
Here in my
Ooh.
town, there's a little bakery in downtown that is just like 3 people that own it and run it. And I went there for the first time maybe about a month ago, just because I'd heard about it, but I was like, it's fucking donuts. And I went down there. I'm like, these are good
No.
fucking donuts, and they do just like a bunch of other shit. I come home with like 2 donuts and a cake wedge. I'm just eating cake. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, and they're dope.
nah.
Yeah, it's great.
I will say, support your local donut shop, your local bakery, and if you've got a place locally that makes bagels, go get them. Like, support that shit.
Yep.
Oh, we do. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
great
Okay.
places. Bagels.
Okay. Round
Hell yeah.
3.
Right.
I mean,
But I
think
want to say
we go.
before we get to round 3, I'm surprised you guys haven't said 3 of the things on my list. I'm actually very surprised.
Well,
by the way, this
We
is
had-
technically round 4, not round 3.
fuck me. Okay. Round 4. It's not technically
Round number.
round 4. It is round 4.
Robert, who can't read, with the next pick.
Oh god. I think I know what my round 5 is because I don't think anyone else is going to pick it. So round 4, I'm like,
Oh, If you thought I was making weird choices up till now, it's gonna get worse.
Let's see here. Ugh. I've got 4 things that I want to pick, 3 things that I want to pick.
Well, it's round 4, so you have to go with the 4.
2 things that I want to pick. Let's get rid of that. Let's. All right. Round 4 is a movie. I'm going to go with a movie.
It's a
I'm
movie.
going to go with a movie sequel. One of the most recent things on this list, I think. A movie that the first movie I thought would just be a piece of shit, ended up not being a piece of shit, ended up being real fun, a lot of goddamn fun, especially after they completely redid the main character model because he looked terrible.
They fixed his teeth. They took him
But
to the
they fixed
orthodontist.
everything. Are you shitting me?
Everything.
That's called a glow up, Michael. But the second film brought in
Sorry,
multiple
I just remember those
characters from the
fucking
games.
chompers.
Yeah, the human teeth. Ugh.
My nightmare.
Yeah, the sequel brought in multiple characters from the games and just a voice actor from the game series, which I think is not done enough. Okay, it's great to get celebrities doing voices of characters that you know, but to get a character voice actor that is from a video game adaptation using the voice actor from the game cannot be beat. So round 4, Sonic the
Mortal
Hedgehog
Kombat Annihilation.
2.
Cozy gets
Great
it.
pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's fuck, I gotta make that tiny. Yeah, there we go. 8. It's obviously it's not a great. Neither of them are great films. All right, they're not gonna win awards. But as a Sonic fan who grew up playing, I was a Sega kid growing up. I was not a Nintendo kid. I was a Sega kid playing Sonic the Hedgehog. Being able to see Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, in live action, CGI live action, and not just be shitty. Fuck yeah. And once again, yeah, Tails, Colleen O'Shaughnessy. Is it O'Shaughnessy or Shaughnessy? Colleen, I want to say Shaughnessy. The voice of Tails from the games. And then, she was able to be Tails in the movie. Instead of just recasting somebody else's... instead of having Michael Cera as Tails.
It is.
Could you imagine?
Congratulations, Hawks. It is indeed O'Shaughnessy.
Is it O'Shaughnessy? Okay, yeah.
You didn't just sideswipe her for having an Irish last name by hitting
I
her
knew
with
it was
the O.
Shaughnessy, and I was like, there's got to be an O.
That fucking Mick. It's got to be O'Shaughnessy. It can't
But
just be
no,
Shaughnessy.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, honestly, for both of these movies, the human aspect does not really matter, other than, Dr. Robotnik. Cyclops and his girl, or his wife, whatever. But just seeing Sonic the Hedgehog in live action and Knuckles and Tails just, actually teaming up doing shit was perfect for a dumb 90s kid like me. So Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I love it.
Yeah,
Round
I think that's a
4.
great choice. Because,
Yeah.
I think the first one was definitely part of the whole, video game adaptations are no longer god-awful.
Yeah.
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 And
It was one of the
think it's
first waves of, if you get people who know the games, you can have fun times and good times,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching a video about there was VFX artists, and they were talking about how much work they would have to do to change his model to what it was when we got from the old one. The amount of work that they had to do to the release date was insane. So it's it's cool that they listened and just it does suck, but it's cool that they listened to the point that they did change it to where now that even though that the movie will probably have been the same, that adds to the enjoyment of the movie and makes it better.
And I did love seeing the original gross Sonic in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. If you haven't watched that movie, fucking do it. There was a live action Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie that came out a couple years ago from the Lonely Island guys.
Gotta
What's up?
go.
There's also a Keyblade in there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
like it's like
small
when
cameo.
they're looking at like the wall of like different stuff, and there's like
Okay.
Keyblade
Okay. Yeah.
in the background. Yeah.
God, Dex, I cannot wait for the oops all Kingdom Hearts episode of this podcast where you just come on and I just get my eyes just glaze over.
Oh man, I'm gonna need to make like some kind of a PowerPoint or something.
Invite me on as a second guest on that episode, because I will form the united front of defenders of the series so that the other people don't
Oh, no.
overpower you.
Oh no, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of those. It's
Do
just.
you?
I mean, I played the shit out of the first 2 games, like the first, like
sounds
Kingdom
like
Hearts
you
1
don't
and
love
2.
it. Sounds like you don't love it.
All right.
I
There's
am
12
a-
games,
it's
Michael.
It's
Yeah,
my
I'm
favorite
aware.
game series. It's my
That's a
favorite
bit
game
much
series
for
ever,
me.
and I just finished a series replay through on my channel, and I've played them so many times. Like it's my favorite
Oh,
series. Like it's a hot take, but 3 is my favorite, and I'm a staunch defender of that game.
Okay, man, go for it. No, I've got 1 and 2 in that same big plastic bin with my physical media.
Great
Like
games.
yeah, no, they were great. I loved fucking playing them. Like Jesus Christ,
By the way,
they
I
were
just
great.
wanna-
But then go ahead.
I want to issue a quick correction. There actually are 16 Kingdom Hearts games if you exclude Missing Link, which is not yet released this year.
Christ
I just
on
said
crack.
12 because that's the go-to number, and why wasn't that enough? Obviously.
I just want to point out in that closet there is a fully stocked bar. I feel I'm going to be going to that
Yes.
a lot during that episode. So
And the funny thing is, aside from code, it's not code is bad. I just think it's the most like non-consequential game in the series, but they all matter to like a big degree.
It's so there's fucking like Melody of Memory is just it's a rhythm game, and people are like, oh, do I have to play it? And it turns out apparently like the closing cinematic is huge to the story of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it helps sets up 4. So
me saying there's way too much Kingdom Hearts. Also, the guy who watched all of the Universal Century Mobile Suit Gundam stuff. Just like, yeah, maybe I might be wrong on this one. Maybe.
no, I don't know if you guys or Hawks, you know Neo Yoshi. He's a huge fan.
Oh, yeah.
of Metal
I
Gear,
know
and
Neo.
I'm always like, you need to play Kingdom Hearts. He's like, but there's so many. I'm like, you play Metal Gear Solid, my guy. The stories like that, you can find a lot of intersectionality there. Like you need to just play them.
There we go. Goddamn. All right, so Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep, Sonic the Hedgehog
my
2.
list.
Dex, was that on your list?
Nope, I did think about it. But
Jesus Christ.
I have 3 that I'm surprised you guys have not.
Yeah,
said.
this is number 10 now that is not on Dex's list, on Judge
I'm
Dex.
surprised.
Well, allow me to go with another entry that's probably, or actually, you know what? Maybe this might be the first one, but I'm not certain about it. I'm just going to throw it out there and we'll see whether any fish bite on this one. So I was initially going to go with perhaps a more standard entry for this one. One of those video game movies that people sometimes bring up as, oh yeah, that was a pretty solid video game movie. Not the best, not the worst. But all this Kingdom Hearts discussion inspired me to put Kingdom Hearts X back cover, the hour-long movie that was included with Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, as my 4th entry on the list. This is basically a cutscene compilation of major moments from Kingdom Hearts Union/Unchained X, the mobile game that was, included as an hour-long compilation video on the same disc as, I believe it was Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance HD and 2.0.2, a fragmentary package.
Yep, the overall thing is called 2.8.
Yeah.
This is the one that has like the what is the mystery man, essentially, like basically forming the team in the past.
There's the Master of Masters.
That's it. Yeah.
Lu Shu, who is later to reveal to be another major character in the series.
Which
Kingdom
makes
Hearts
so
is
much
sacred,
sense.
so
I
won't
love that
spoil
reveal.
too
It's so
much.
good.
And then you have the 5 foretellers. And I mean, here's the thing. I'm trolling a little bit putting this entry on the list, just a little bit. But I enjoyed the little interactions between the Master of Master and the foretellers. And also, did not, like, here's the thing. I played the mobile game Union X, aka Unchained X, ahead of time, and like you get little snippets of the foretellers and the Master of Masters in that game. I did not expect the Master of Masters to have that personality in the movie. I'm like, wow, this is not what I expected out of him.
It's such a good personality. I love it.
Yeah.
Is this what's the title here? Across back cover.
It's Kingdom Hearts X back cover, but here's the thing: it's not actually an X. It's actually
It's the key, isn't it?
X-shaped single. Yeah, exactly. Key.
Yeah. We're gonna put
basically
a
that
here.
whole movie basically just gives you events that take place during the mobile game, but from the perspective of like the foretellers that you don't get to really see in the game. So it's happening all at the same time. You're just getting another perspective of stuff.
Which I have watched it. I really like that one. Yeah. I'm not gonna yellow card that one because I do think that for the most part that is like almost an original. It's retelling the story of the game, but yeah, that is like an original, almost quote unquote movie.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny? I didn't think about any of that, so that's not on my list. But that's a great choice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, Kozibear won, so.
Well, we still have a few more entries to go.
We do.
You all have strong picks in yours, so I've not decided yet.
Yeah.
Just you wait. I've still got 2 more picks to go. You might want to back off that strong picks thing.
All right, Maggle?
Oh, man. I am still in the middle 90s, but this is something I kind of found a little later in life. It is yet another 102-minute long Street Fighter film, but this is Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
I thought you were going to say Mortal Kombat. I was like, is it Mortal Kombat 2?
I thought you were going to do Legend of
wanted Ooh. Not so much Legend of Chun-Li, but man, Mortal Kombat 2. Just
Isn't that the one where Liu Kang turns into the dragon?
Yes. It's so bad.
It is.
They rip Jax's arms off and then put metal ones on.
I have to be consistent. One line.
Oh.
3 of these things I cannot read.
So when you see it on Twitter, you can zoom in.
Just, god damn it, make them the same font size and just have bigger cells.
We'll see. We'll see what goes out on Twitter.
God damn it. I mean, I'm gonna have to log into Twitter and just make sure you're not fucking this up. All of yours are super legible. Me and Cody's aren't.
Oh yeah,
they're 0.2 font.
Fucking, he converts ours to fucking wingdings or whatever. Just a bunch of symbols.
I've never seen Street Fighter 2 the animated series or the animated movie actually.
So it is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It is included, so you don't have to do anything. I literally just threw it on right now as we're talking. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, M. Bison is trying to find the best fighter on the planet, and he thinks he's found it in Ryu, but he also has found Ken. And while he's trying to fight these 2 dudes and get them to come to him, Major Guile and Chun-Li are trying to apprehend him because they are cops or some shit. I don't know. It just looks fucking sick, and Street Fighter 2 is one of my favorite arcade games ever. So, yeah. So, there we go.
Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, if
it wasn't clear, it's not on my list. I've not.
Yeah,
seen
I didn't even want to ask.
Kind of figured. Was just keeping it moving.
And I feel like this one is also not going to be on your list.
Oh man.
Okay, but I fucking love this. If anybody has been watching our podcast since the beginning, you know there's a game series that I absolutely fucking love. That we've done an Oops All episode about. And they've made multiple animated series about the games. Each one about a different game. My number 5 pick is Persona 4, the animation. That's what it's called.
Oh.
It is an animated series with the obviously with the telling the story of Persona 4. And the reason that they picked this, there's Persona 4 the animation, Persona 5 the animation, and then Persona 5 Royal the animation that has a couple extra episodes. And then there's Persona 3 movies. There's 4 Persona 3 movies that I haven't watched, so I didn't want to put them on here. But for Persona 5 or Persona 4 the animation, the reason that I picked it is it tells obviously the story of the game, which the story of Persona 4 is just great. It's a really great story. But one of the episodes specifically really stood out to me, that just expanded upon one of the. I forget the name in 4, but like one of the levels that you go through, where there's a level where the bad guy in that level, like the boss, essentially is trying to like. It's somebody from the real world who's just trying to jump in and kind of kill people and be a dickhead. But in the game, you just kind of go through the level, you fight the boss, you're done. In this episode of Persona 4, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. Sorry, it's old as shit. Go watch it. Kill yourself.
Wow.
Don't do that. But in the episode of Persona 4, the animation with this episode is they're fighting the boss, and it does some sort of like, if I remember correctly, some sort of like status effect on the main character. And then the entire episode is essentially just him, like, the entire episode after that is they defeat the boss, they go out back to the real world. With Persona 4, they go into a world to fight things and everything. They go back out to the real world, and this entire episode is essentially just the main character losing all of his friends. Because everybody else is just like, oh yeah, we beat the bad guy. We don't have to continue doing this. And he's just like, all right, yeah, but what if we were wrong? And all of his friends are just slowly like, no, we got the bad guy. He was arrested, so we're good to go. And like one character just kind of stops talking to him. Another character is a pop idol, and she just leaves town and goes on tour. The other characters just stop talking to him. By like the end of this episode, he's just alone. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, I played the game. This didn't fucking happen. Once again, spoil it. And then the end of the episode cuts in, and it cuts back to this fight that started at the beginning of the episode, and this was a whole thing that the boss was like fucking with his mind, making him feel this way, that all of his friends are leaving him and shit. And then he finally like kind of wakes up, realizes where he's at, and they fight this boss and finish it. And just that one episode alone was incredible. I fucking loved it. The entire series was great. I watched Persona 4, the animation, and not Persona 4. I think there's a Persona 4 Golden that has a bit of the extra content, but I did just watch the original.
Yeah.
But Persona 4, the animation. Hell, if you haven't played the Persona games and you just like anime, watch Persona 4 and Persona 5, the animation. You get the whole story. You don't have to play 150 hours of gameplay if you don't want to. I don't know why you wouldn't. But you get the entire story of Persona 4 or Persona 5, and the characters are just, obviously with it being a TV show, and they can kind of deep dive into specific areas at times, like specific characters at times. You kind of get more of certain characters. There's an entire fucking character in Persona 4 the animation that is just not in the games, who's like not necessarily an important character. Yeah, she delivers. Like, oh, you've seen it. Yeah, she just like delivers food to them all the time.
Or
ramen, yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
But and apparently she was supposed to be in the game, and they just cut her out. But in the series, she's just in most of the episodes.
They included some, because of the timeline of events. This came out before Golden, so they inserted some references to her in Golden. I've seen this series as well. I think it's actually very underrated. I'm surprised when people mention that they didn't like the series, that they didn't like the animation, because I thought this was actually a very solid adaptation of the game. Of course, the game is absolutely still worth playing on its own, 100%. Independently of the series. But the series is very solid, and it was great to see the series actually be forced to like give you, Narukami, the protagonist of the game, a personality, and like change up and kind of flesh out some of its major plot beats to reflect the fact that he's an active kind of participant in a lot of them, and with his own kind of really defined personality.
Yeah, and then obviously like Persona 5 kind of does the same thing with Ren. his character in that, the main character there. But yeah, I think Persona 4 just does that perfectly. I think Persona 4 the animation is a must watch if you like. Fuck it, if you like anime, watch this. It's got crazy shit, fucking crazy fights. It's got, if you like the waifus, I think there's shit in there for that. I don't remember exactly. I was watching it at work.
It's got everything you fucking weeb fucking want.
It's got everything you fucking
Crazy
nerds
shit.
want.
Crazy shit, big titty schoolgirls. It's all you could want.
Not really in Persona, to be honest.
Yeah,
I know.
It's not really the vibe there. I do want to
No.
say very quickly, I also did watch Persona for the Golden animation, which, as you alluded to earlier, it's just a supercut of all the new content that came out in Persona 4 Golden, the video game. That series, I mean, it's kind of hard to rate it because it literally is just like, oh, this is just the additional content animated. The fun thing about that series is they treat it almost like it's a new game plus. And so in the first episode, you get to see Yu Narukami like completely decimate a whole horde of enemies. And it's basically implied without explicitly being stated that, oh, he's seen this all before, which is fun.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
I like I said, I've only watched Persona 4. I haven't watched Golden, because when you watched Golden, and I don't know if maybe you don't remember, was it dubbed or subbed?
Mine was subbed for Golden. I don't think they ever did a dub.
That's what I think. Yeah, because I watched Persona 4 dubbed. Because fuck you, anime nerds. Dub for life. Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I think it's cool when a series, like, when it gets transferred over to another medium, can expand upon that series. Like how the episode you were talking about is really cool. And I'm not sure if anyone's going to bring up this show, but like The Last of Us and the Bill episode, like, I think it's really cool when they can find ways to expand upon the source material in a way that's meaningful and really awesome.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that they included that in there. And my side piece on that is sub and
Not on
dub
his
equally
list.
as good. Do whatever you want to watch anime. Enjoy it.
So
And now
that is my number 5.
I actually forgot that these existed. I was thinking of like my head.
Oh fuck! I found, and it's obviously like I watched them like a while ago. The fuck is Mike playing? Whatever. What is he playing? I have Snowbike Mike's stream right here, and he's playing some space game. I don't know what the fuck it is.
His stream was so much fun.
Yeah.
In space.
But yeah, I found like an anime site because I was just looking for a place to watch Persona 4 and Persona 5 the animations, and I found a really dope site where like I signed up for an account or whatever, but it was essentially like go there and we have all this shit, you can stream it, you can watch it for free.
Well, if you want free Crunchyroll, I can give you my account.
Do they have Persona? Because I'm not an anime person, I just like a couple of things.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, that's my number 5. Kozibear, you go ahead and go. I'm gonna mute my mic. I gotta pee, so I'm still listening. We're still recording. I'm just not gonna be sitting right here for a moment.
Okay.
I have been trying to rack my brain for what I want to put in my number 5 spot. And I've been trying to think, do I want to go with something a little bit more standard? Do I want to go perhaps a little bit out of my way, get a little bit spicy, a little bit fun? And you know what? I'm going to get fun with this one. My final pick is Resident Evil, Death Island, an animated Resident Evil movie certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with a score of 67, in which the cast of the Resident Evil series goes to Alcatraz to beat up a whole bunch of zombies. Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, Leon S. Kennedy, Claire Redfield, Rebecca Chambers, and many more go and do the shitty shoots on the zombie zombs. And I just gotta respect that.
I love it. That is a solid pick to round out your draft.
I was just gonna say I've watched like all of like the animated RE movies, but I think this is one I have not watched yet.
It is the most recent one. Like it came out literally just last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then that's why I probably I need to watch that.
June 22nd in Singapore, July 7 in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is, man, I am So curious where we could possibly stream this.
That is a good point. I don't even know how you would stream this nowadays.
It looks like it's
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
okay.
Perfect.
Then you can rent it on other platforms like YouTube, Apple TV,
I'm not a
Fandango
sucker.
at home. I know Fandango at home was the thing. You can rent it
Wow.
on Amazon.
I already got to deal with ads on my Amazon Prime movies. I don't need this crap. I'm not giving you any more money.
You know, I forgot Fandango even existed. Like, I remember there were like a huge like advertisement thing at movie theaters and stuff, and they'd be like, "Get your tickets at Fandango." Now you don't see
Yeah.
them at all.
No. Now every movie theater chain has an app, and you just buy them on there, and you go to the
Which I'm
kiosk.
so
and it
upset
shits 'em out.
because I live in a place that doesn't have an AMC theater. An AMC
Oh,
movie pass, I think it's called.
yeah.
It's so much better than what we have because we only have Cinemarks here. And the way that the movie club works here is you only get a ticket a month. You get some
Mhm.
discounts, but you're paying $13.99 for it now. And
It's-
movie pass is like $25.99. And I'm like, I would rather pay that extra money to get like 3 movies a week or whatever it is. I'm like, that is so much better.
Oh yeah, it's such a better deal, but man, no. Yeah, there's a Cinemark by my girlfriend's house, and I'm like, ooh, well, this could be a fun thing to do while she's off in the summer, and I
Mhm.
can, legitimize coming down there. And then it's like, no, this is actually a terrible value for money. Screw this. We're not doing that.
It's nice they allow you to let it roll over or use it for friends and family, but it's like, give me a little bit more. At least let me
Yeah.
see 3 movies a month. Like at least.
Maggle.
Yeah, like, hi there.
Maggle, hit me up for Plex.
Okay, I think we
I
say
wonder
this-
where I
Oh.
could stream this. Hit me up for Plex.
By the
Okay.
way, the movie that I chose was Resident Evil Death Island.
I was listening while I was peeing.
Ah,
And I was a little upset because I was like,
Got it.
Kozibear has talked about all of his movies for more than 2 minutes, and now he's not. Well, I have all this piss in me.
Well, all right.
Hey, look at that. It fits.
Hey.
Nice.
This is a new beer. Well, I've had it for a while. Oh, fuck. I didn't see that. God damn it.
What?
You Into Brewing. It's a mango lime pilsner.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
That is
bottoms up, eh?
brother.
Dex?
It is not on my list. I've not
Jesus
seen this one
Christ.
God damn.
I'm impressed.
I'm honestly surprised 3 of these have not. At least one of these 3 has not even been said.
Look, I'll be honest.
I
I
will
thought
say-
Dex was going to be a basic bitch. Okay?
Wow.
He wears glasses.
Okay, yeah, and I'm a white straight guy. Yeah, I know I'm basic.
Look at all that goofy shit in the background.
I know. Look at all the fucking.
Look at him with his
bullshit
couch.
back there. Yeah, a couch back there. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Just over here like a bed with a sucker.
But
Like,
my
what the
list,
fuck?
like some people would say is pretty basic. I feel like.
I will say, if this list started as us trying to hit darts on a dartboard to figure out what movies he has on this list, at this point, we're not even throwing darts at the dartbourt. We're throwing them at the cat in the corner. Or whatever.
No, we're throwing these out the fucking window. You get Street
Like,
Fighter
you gotta
2,
watch-
the animated
I'm not
movie.
even
No, you guys have brought up like great picks. It's just like
Yeah.
just nothing I have on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
We're
trying
not-
to see can we pop the tires of a passing by car?
I'm not even in the bar throwing darts. I'm somehow out back behind the dumpster taking a leak. Knowing damn well there's a bathroom. And I'm like, nah, this is what I gotta
You
do.
came in to say avid children, and then you kind of left. That's when you kind of.
And I just
That's
pop
the
in
other
every now and again, just looking worse and worse.
He just pops in. You remember Street Fighter? Okay. The first
And then
Mortal Kombat?
somebody puts me in an Uber, and then I come back after I
Street
queue up
Fighter
some
2!
walk-up music and touch tunes.
Oh my god.
Yep.
All right. So we
right.
got Resident
All
Evil
right, Mike.
Death Island. Yeah, that's one of the. They're like CGI ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think I watched the first one where they were in an airport.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is that Damnation? I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's not Damnation. I can't remember what that one's called, but I'm pretty sure that centers around Chris and
Yeah.
Claire.
Like they're in an they're at an airport for whatever reason, and then
Yeah, and
like
Claire's
a
trying to
plane
defend
lands or
like a
something,
group
yeah.
of them, and then Leon comes in with the government.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Fun movies.
Maggle, last pick.
Yep,
Fucking
you
Mr.
got-
Irrelevant. Let's do this.
Mr. Irrelevant, how fucking dare you? This ended a man's career.
Oh no.
He's like, I am the most cultured one here, you swine.
You already said Street Fighter.
No.
I don't know how you can't end a career more than dying.
I mean, it can leave you around and have people come up to you on the street and ask you about this movie that you were in that you fucking hated. I'm talking about the original Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993.
Oh my god.
That was
All
Bob
right.
Hoskins' last movie.
Oh my god.
Good pick.
Oh, it was so bad. But I mean, the cast, like, to a point, it's just like, Jesus, how could you go wrong with this? Bob Hoskins, great actor.
Oh yeah,
John Leguizamo, funny as hell. Fisher Stevens, he does stuff. Dennis fucking Hopper,
Yeah, bad guy from Waterworld.
just let him choose
Yes.
the scenery.
that's the bad guy from Waterworld.
Yes, just that's
Waterworld to Super Mario World. It's the legacy of his career.
yeah.
That's good.
Jesus Christ, that just broke me.
What did it do?
Ah,
The break.
Oh,
the
there
break.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
No, hold on. I just want to see the order here.
Yeah.
Okay. No. It went Super Mario Brothers, some stuff including True Romance and Speed, and then Waterworld for Dennis Hopper.
Amazing.
Oh, so he moved up.
Jesus Christ almighty. Just those two movies, Speed and True Romance, between Super Mario Brothers and Waterworld is insane.
Well, it's just like, I feel like if you heard like, yeah, you're gonna be on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is like, I would argue like one of the biggest, like around that time was like a huge point for Mario.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, yeah, working for Nintendo, like that's gonna be great. And then they did what they did with that movie. And you're just like, oh god.
Oof. Yeah, just my God, I'm just looking at his filmography, and he's been in a lot of amazing ass shit. But no, I mean that is, it hits close to heart because it is something I
Yeah.
did watch a lot as a child.
Yeah.
I knew it was bad then when I was 7.
Yeah, I couldn't discern what was really bad as a kid. I was like, this is the shit. And I got older, I was like, my god.
Yeah, I'm just like, this does not feel right. feels like something's wrong.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers was not the Dennis Hopper film that I watched a lot as a child.
You were more
That
of a
was
Speed guy.
Waterworld.
You weren't running around your house screaming "Pop Quiz Hot Shot" to your parents.
I will say, this movie, I mean, it's the foundational bad video game movie. We all agree it's not a great time. We'll say, I have a theory, and that theory is that I
it's a
think
demon?
Shigeru
Isn't
Miyamoto...
it a game theory?
I think that
dancing
Shigeru Miyamoto secretly thinks that this movie is actually not that bad. There's like an old interview, I forget where it was, but he was asked about this movie, and he's like, it didn't turn out great, but it was a fun time. Like, he had some quote of like, I acknowledge it's not a great movie, but I appreciate it. And like, I bet that if you were to just like get his full, blunt, honest opinion on this game, he'd be like, yeah, I actually appreciate the fact that it was such an out there and like how do I say this? Like, so like not trying to just be a copy of like the video games.
Yeah.
Because Shigeru Miyamoto, like, the guy is, at his core an artist. The guy, I think, cares about coming up with new and interesting and unusual ideas, reimagining the Mario Bros. Series in new and unusual ways. And I bet that he wishes he could show more appreciation for the movie, but I feel like the universe around him kind of restricts him from being honest about that. But that's just my theory.
Yeah.
There were so many people who took hacks at writing this fucking thing.
Yeah. Like if you read through the production history of this movie, it's insane. I think they fire the director
At some point, yes.
Yeah.
because he'd never done a movie before, and he was just being a massive piece of shit. And Bob Hoskins was essentially like, "You get rid of him or I walk."
Yeah. God, the guy who co-wrote Rain Man wrote the first draft of the script. Barry Morrow.
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing.
Just imagine that. Just, good God. But yeah, I mean, I've never had a bad time watching it, but also at the same time, as someone who has studied film because I thought it was going to be an easy A in college, yeah, no, it is not good at all. Like, it's terrible. So,
with that being said,
but that nostalgia factor plays a lot. And I think
with that being said, Dex.
All right.
Is 93 Super Mario Brothers on your list?
It is not.
God damn it. I figured if anything would be.
Oh,
I know. Like, man, as any indication for the rest of the list.
Yeah,
man.
What the fuck was on your list?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to recap the draft?
Before we do that, I don't know
mentions?
if you see my screen. I put what the fuck, not one.
Yeah, I also see some tiny dots that should be legible in some of the other boxes.
All right, so before we get into Dex's apparently incredible list, what the fuck? Most of my list is basic as fuck, and none of whatever. Okay, whatever. Dex,
I Persona 4 the animation. That's an inspired choice.
It is.
It's great. And Werewolves Within, none of you have fucking heard of it. Dex,
sorry, I'm
take
not
a
really
minute.
familiar with the IFC distributed catalog.
You should fucking watch Werewolves Within. For the
Get on
AT&T girl.
I do.
Alone.
I do like.
That is why I watched
like
it.
A lot
And I
of
was like,
Vein
oh,
Trub.
this is much better than I thought it would be. Judge Dex, do you have a ruling?
I do. And this is even considering out the back cover part.
Do you have a
I'm
1
gonna
through
go
3?
Cozy.
Oh, well,
Going
then,
Cozy.
never mind then.
Whoa.
And then if I had to go in order, Robert, then Mike.
Nice. What inspired you to give me the crown on this one?
So I feel like just in terms of like nostalgia factor, like I have nostalgia for Pokemon Heroes Tamers back cover, and I love the RE series. Even though I haven't seen this one, I do love the RE series. So that's kind of just like an extra kind of thing. On Robert's, like you have Fallout, you have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I love both of those films, and then Mike, I have nostalgia for Advent Children and the OG Mortal Kombat.
I was about to say, what can you say about this fucking pile of garbage I gave
No,
you?
yeah, like I grew up watching the OG Mortal Kombat over and over and over again.
Oh god,
like,
yeah.
it's a huge like part of my childhood. And then Advent Children, I watched that so many times. Like my parents were sick of me how many times I watched that movie.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I would say like just in terms of like my connection with the series that you talked about, Cozy, that I have bigger connections with those, and I guess fonder memories with those series that are still part of my life today.
If you take off back cover, does it still win?
That's exclusive. Yeah, it's excluding back cover.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Because Digimon Tamers, I grew up watching a lot of Pokemon Heroes. Like,
Yeah.
Digimon Pokemon are huge parts of my childhood growing up. And so, while not necessarily the most quality things on the list, I'm not saying that they're not or they are, but I would say that's where I kind of line.
No, most of Mike's list is shit. Let's be honest.
But
I'm not arguing.
He has two strong ones that were huge parts of my childhood as well. So yeah. So I
But
would
the
say,
rest is just unmitigated trash.
I just haven't seen most of it. So
Cozy, myself,
is the winner.
Mike.
Thank you.
Cozy,
Thank you so much.
congrats.
I will take
Michael,
this
you
award
clap
with
for a
pride.
fucking competitor, you cunt fuck. Thank you.
But then adding Cage back cover, that just kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
just
did not even
speaking my
fucking think
language.
of back cover.
I like to think of it as the cherry on top on this.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Cake.
It's
This
just a really
beautiful
big
cake.
cherry.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
so that's where I would go.
Now that we've got the winner, Kozibear, congrats. Dex, let's go with your list, 1 through 5. You tell me, I'll type them in.
All right. Number 1,
Wait,
Castlevania.
Oh.
Well, I just realized we probably should do 5 to 1.
That doesn't matter. I mean, a draft you go
Wait, wait.
1 through 5.
That's true. You do.
Were these
So,
supposed to be?
the
Were these supposed to be
Netflix-
in order of us enjoying these movies? Or
Well,
Uh,
I mean,
no.
yeah, not
Okay.
really. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, because mine are just like I listed them as I kind of came across them, so they're not any in particular necessarily particular
Yeah.
order. I would say
Yeah.
Castlevania
This is the
as number
Netflix
one
series, right?
is one. Yeah.
Is
So
there anything
for
else?
the original one, Nocturne is the thing. I think that one's still very good, but I think the original seasons 1 through 4
yeah, it's
are
pretty
very
fucking good.
perfect.
Yeah.
Are really fucking
I
good.
often forget about this one, but it's good stuff. It's good
And
stuff.
I'm gonna go a little bit tangent. I saw someone on fucking Twitter that was like, "Can we agree? Like, put on like these things were shit," and they put Castlevania on there. Like, fuck
Oh,
no.
no.
I grew up
No.
playing these fucking games. This show was fucking so good.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember seeing that tweet a lot. Like, all the replies were, "Did you really fucking put Castlevania on here?"
It's like
Yeah.
they're like it's not basically like 1-to-1 to the games. Like, who gives a shit? It's fucking cool.
Yeah, like it's fucking
It
rad.
doesn't
Are you
need to be
kidding me?
1-to-1 with the games. Look, my first pick, Fallout, is not 1-to-1 with the games. Cool as
Hell
shit.
no.
It fits in the
Yeah,
universe. That's all it needs to do.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
Castlevania it still has those temple characters from the series, and it's just the way they do it is so fucking good, and the way they cap off that 1 through 4 season is so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say this one is the absolutely probably number one for me. So that's
What-
like the true like placement of it.
So, real quick, before we keep going, you said that you tried to pick things that you thought we might not have. Right?
Like a couple, not
Okay.
all of them.
Okay. So, like, is Castlevania still your number one?
Yeah, that is
Okay,
like probably
regardless.
the truest like placement. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Just wondering.
next-
So, number 2.
Yeah. So next, after this, these could go in
Okay.
a lot of different orders. So these ones are just as I kind of found them and thought about them. So this is the one you're gonna challenge me on, and that's okay.
Oh.
And you could be like, "This is fucking bullshit." No, this doesn't count. I have
You're the
Ready
judge.
Player One.
Oh.
Ready? Okay.
Hmm.
I know
Obviously,
it's not
we
based
can.
off of a
I'm-
video game. It's just heavily based off of video games in general. So that's kind of like where my thought went.
I mean,
It is definitely. It's a video. Like, I would say,
It is-
100%. Ready Player One is a video game movie. Is it a video game adaptation?
No, it's a book adaptation.
It is, but it is a video game movie.
Oh yeah, it's heavily like it is a movie based on a book about being in a video game.
Okay, we've got 3 people here.
Which is
Dex, you don't get the vote. Fuck you. We got 3
Okay,
people.
that sounds good. I'll just try to be honest. Like you guys might say,
Yeah.
"Fuck this fake."
Okay, think about it. Who says that this should not count as a video game adaptation pick?
I'm going to say yes just because I'm curious what Dex's backup pick is. Only reason.
I mean, we've got 2, 3. I'm on the fence because obviously it's not adapted from a video game, but it is just so inspired by video games. But obviously 2 people already said no. So Dex, fuck yourself.
That's totally fair. I guess like what I would have picked otherwise might have been Digimon the first movie.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
good. Another good pick.
That was honestly one that I almost picked myself. But
That's
I
honestly, like-
wasn't sure if Digimon was a show before it was.
Yeah. Because like Digimon for me is much bigger than Pokemon, which is an uncommon thing. I have a much
fucking
more.
asshole.
I know.
No, he's not.
But like
Wait, is it
with Digimon,
Is it called Digimon the first movie, or was it just called the Digimon
I think it was
movie?
I
Digimon,
believe so.
or my Digimon the movie. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah,
Let's
whatever.
look it
Yeah,
up.
but yeah, it's I know exactly which one you're talking about. Yeah.
But I have such fond memories of like throwing this DVD over and over and over again, just constantly, just singing the old 2000s like pop punk kind of tracks that they had going on in there.
Smash Mouth.
Yep. I remember like acting out the Greymon versus I can't remember what the parrot's Digimon name, but like that with my
Parrotmon.
brother, Parrotmon, with my brother, as we were kids, be able to quote when they're fighting Dioboromon and they're like counting down and stuff like that. It's just like I have such fond memories of that movie, and just I have such a fonder, I guess attachment to Digimon that I ever did Pokemon, because I feel like the series was much more emotional and much more deep than Pokemon was. And like moving forward in the series, like Digimon: The Last Evolution, legit made me fucking cry. Like, because of seeing how these characters I grew up with throughout my life came to a close, was like, it was amazing. So like, Digimon means a lot to me.
Digimon the movie is one of those movies
It is
that
called,
should
yeah,
be...
it's called Digimon the movie, so.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
It should be like studied, not in like a bad way of like, oh, look at this shitty movie, because it's not a shitty movie, but it is a genuinely fascinating movie in terms of them taking basically these 3 separate 40-minute long OVAs and figuring out a way to stitch it together into a single like theatrical movie that is at least surprisingly somewhat coherent. Like, I feel like people should show this in editing classes to be like, look, this isn't necessarily incredible, but you can take 3 different movies and you can actually make a single cohesive through line with just enough elbow grease and crazy underpaid voice actors.
I do want to point out that it is 88 minutes long, so, I mean, if you love Hitler, then fine.
It's close.
But yeah, so that's why Digimon the movie would be like on there. Why I love it so much.
Once again, I was not... I honestly thought that the show came out... I didn't know about the Tamagotchis, and I'm going to 100% count that, because that is... It's not a video game. That's a game. That's an electronic game, yeah. I just, as being a dumb American, the first time I heard of Digimon was the show. It was after Pokemon had already come out, the game and the show, so I was just like, oh yeah, this is a copy, but I remember Digimon the movie. I remember fucking loving Digimon
I don't even
the
think
movie.
the Tamagotchi version even came to the States.
Yeah.
Like, it was that long ago, so...
I actually do have it. I have a Digimon game on my Steam Deck that I bought last year. I forget the name of it, but I was looking for... I read a thing, it was like, oh, if you like Pokemon, here's some other, like, Pokemon-like, like, capturing animals and stuff games, and there's a Digimon World game on Steam.
Yep, Digimon World.
Is it called Digimon? Yep. Yeah. So I bought that. I haven't played it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, Digimon World 1 through 3 were on the PS1, and like I played the shit out of those as a kid. Like, I love those, collecting little cards and stuff.
This is why I can't fucking 24 games. I'm just looking through my Steam Deck. This is actually not a PS1 one. This is a more recent game, and it's not Digimon Survive.
Because there's Digimon World, I think it's Cyber Sleuth or something like that. There's something...
Cyber Sleuth.
Yeah.
That
that's
right.
a more recent one. I did beat that one. That one's actually pretty fun.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition. Yeah, so I bought that one. I have that one. So, and I was just looking for like a Pokemon-like that wasn't Pal World at the time, and I bought it because it was on sale. So.
Yeah, no, it's not an amazing game, but it's a good time game.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. And then next, what I have is Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh, another good pick that I forgot about.
This is a show that I'm still mad at myself that I haven't watched. Because Cyberpunk 2077 is one of my favorite games of all time.
And the funny thing is, for me, I hadn't played Cyberpunk because I was waiting for all the bugs and stuff to be figured out from the kind of really rocky launch that they had. But like, everybody was talking about the show, and I finally watched it, and it made me fall in love with the Cyberpunk universe in a way that even after playing the games hasn't done. And I really enjoyed the story of God, what's his name? The main character might be Jaden, if I remember correct. I can't remember. But like, his story with his love interest and stuff like that, I just feel very impactful and just a really quality show that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the games themselves, but is able to incorporate all the stuff from the games into a really awesome show.
And I think that is one of the best things about a game adaptation that is not just a straight up, here's a game and we're making a movie of it.
Because they don't talk about B at all, so it's like they're
have like
from
a
that.
universe that you can actually just make a story in, and you're like, oh no, this is that universe. Yeah, like Cyberpunk. There's obviously other things that are in like the Cyberpunk genre, but for the game and like the board game and everything, it's very unique. Fallout specifically, I would say is
Mhm.
you can see almost any fucking screenshot from a Fallout game, and you're like, yeah, it's Fallout.
Yeah.
You know.
And
Um,
I guess
yeah.
in a way, when I played the game finally, once the bugs and like the next gen versions came out to where like it was a pretty solid experience.
Mhm.
Um, I loved the game. Like it was super duper great, and it was actually kind of a way I could connect it to the show because there's the main theme from the show is called "I Want to Stay at Your House," which is in one of the stations in the game,
Hell yeah.
and I ended the game basically with that playing. So it was just like a cool little way
Yeah,
of like
I
connecting the two.
think, and I haven't like I said, I haven't seen Edge Runners, but I believe there are references to it in Phantom Liberty
Maybe I haven't
that
played
I've
Liberty
read
yet.
people have been like, oh yeah, this is a. Oh well, nope, I can't answer that right now. 10 o'clock. Why is my brother calling me? Ugh, I hope he's not dead. But no, there are references
Ooh.
to, from what I've read, there are references to some characters in Edge Runners.
Mhm.
I don't want to, say where I've read that they're at because it can be spoilers. But yeah,
Yeah.
there are references to some of the Edge Runners characters in Phantom Liberty.
Yeah. So for this one, I just think it's a really cool way to make people fall in love with the world without necessarily having to experience it prior to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this show a lot.
Nice.
Okay. Edge Runners, dope. All right, number 4.
Number 4 is Arcane, the League of Legends Netflix show.
Yeah, that's one that
Man.
I knew. I thought honestly, I thought one of the two of you would put it on there. Maybe not Mike.
Strong Netflix representation on this list.
Yeah.
Netflix has the good stuff.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily because it's on Netflix, but I feel like these two shows, or these three shows, have such a good way. Like they just so happenly, Netflix did a really good job in helping adapt these in a way that was actually quality and enjoyable for fans and new people. And Arcane, I have no real connection to League of Legends. You ever said my brother played it a lot when he was younger, and I watched him play it, and I know that the community is very toxic in terms of the game. But watching the show, because I always heard that the lore and the kind of backstory to characters was really good from the games. Like I always heard that was like a really strong point of League of Legends, that they were able to take that and put into a show that I had no real connection to the series beforehand, where I could watch it and fall in love with God, what's her name? The big sister, I think her name is like V or something like that. Lilith, that's what it is. And then Jinx, and then like their friends that they had, and how that all kind of delves into what they go through and what happens. It's just a really, really great show in general. Like it's just, I think it's such a well-told story that I think is on par with Edge Runners for different reasons. But I think the kind of sisterly story and how these two characters kind of go on their own separate ways, but one's trying to connect with the other while one is kind of retracting away. I think a lot of ways it's a really great story.
All right. Yeah, Arcane is it with a K or a C?
It's with a C.
Okay. Yeah, that's one that I've heard really, really good things about it, and I think it won awards too. But League of Legends is just not my bag, baby.
Yeah, me either.
So
Because like I do enjoy MOBAs, but more like the third person version of MOBAs, not the top down. But yeah. So that's my number 4. And then my number 5 is my Pokemon pick, which will be Pokemon the first movie.
the OG.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because
Good
they did
pick.
remake
Good
it on
They did.
Netflix.
Yes.
Um,
Pokemon the first movie Evolution. Something like that.
No, it's
Mewtwo Strikes Back
Pokemon
Evolution.
Evolution Mewtwo Returns, I believe, is what it's called.
Mewtwo Returns Evolution Strikes Back.
Fuck you.
But this is another one where I just have such a strong childhood attachment to, where I remember seeing in the theaters. I remember just watching it a ton as a kid, seeing Ash run in between Mewtwo and Mew's blast and turning into stone, and all the Pokemon kind of crying over his sacrifice and stuff. Again, you have like the really awesome music from the Pokemon series playing, especially at the beginning when he's fighting a Gen 2 Pokemon, which we had no idea was a Gen 2 Pokemon. We're all kind of like, what the fuck is this Pokemon? And just it's just a really cool movie. I think in a way it does a good thing where, yeah, it's enjoyable for kids, but also has kind of profound things as well between like Mewtwo's struggle with his identity and where he fits in the world. Not in the most deep sense, but I think it does enough for like a movie of its caliber, I guess.
Yeah,
No,
a movie I have a lot of love for as well.
Yeah,
great,
I think
great
Pokemon the first movie was that. I had a friend of mine at an old job who on his desk, and when I say an old job, I mean a place I worked at 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. On his desk had a pencil holder thing full of the ancient Mew cards in their wrappings.
Oh,
Ooh.
yep,
Just
I remember
like
those.
40 of them.
I think I had a few of those, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I have one, but I received it as like a hand-me-down from a friend, and it was already not in great condition. I've always wanted like a better-ish condition version of it, but I don't want to go down that road.
Yeah,
I'll
I remember
reach
having
out to him because we're still friends. I'll see if he still has. I assume he still fucking has them. If he had 40 4 years ago, I don't think he doesn't have any now.
he gives 10 away a year.
Every year he's like, fucking get rid of them.
But yeah, I remember having those. I think it was Burger King that had the gold cards of like the different Pokemon and the Pokeballs.
I had a whole set of those. I gave them away.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to mine. I don't have them anymore.
No, there was a neighborhood kid. This is maybe 10 years ago now. There was a neighborhood kid, and my mom was like, he really likes Pokemon. Do you have anything that you can give him because he likes Pokemon? And I was like, here's these things that I had. Yeah.
They did bring him back at one point, I think, at Burger King. Also, if I remember correctly, they did bring him back in some capacity, like within the last like few years, if I remember correctly.
Well,
which is kind of cool.
All right, so we've got Castlevania #1, Digimon the movie, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Arcane, and Pokemon the first movie, the original anime version, not the CGI version on Netflix. So, there you have it. We're back on the four-person screen. Y'all can't see that I switched it, but we're not on the screen that has this anymore.
But as your judge, I want to know, without being biased, you can't vote for yourself. Whose list would you pick?
I mean, if it's just the other two, sorry, I'd pick Mike's. There's a bunch of shitty movies on there that I will watch while I'm drinking.
Damn.
I would go with Dex's just because there's a lot of stuff there that obviously I already love.
Yeah,
that would be easy for me.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Like Kozibear, I really want to watch an Ace Attorney movie, and KH back cover I really do like.
Hell yeah.
The Resident Evil the animated movies are. I don't think there's a bad one. Like they're good.
I think they're all. I think they're at least entertaining to good.
Yeah, but. I mean, if I get drunk during Digimon Tamers, I'll probably just get sad. If I get drunk during Mortal Kombat, it'll make it better.
You know, one of the worst drinking games I ever did was to Avatar, the Last Airbender, the M. Night Shyamalan version.
God.
Oh no!
And our rules for it, we were
this movie is bad and you died.
Almost.
All right.
And we were basically like, anytime they did something wrong from the animated series, so like when they pronounced something wrong, when something didn't look right, and we were drinking multiple times per scene. We got 30 minutes in that movie, and we're like, we can't keep going.
Brutal.
Mike?
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing.
God, honestly, there are a couple that I'm curious. I'm gonna go with Cozy's just because there are a few that I'm just super curious about.
Nice.
You know, so yeah, like the Ace Attorney movie, and I've never seen any of the animated Resident Evil movies. So
yeah,
you know,
they're a good time.
Yeah,
Mike, text me after this. I'll get you Plex.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have all of them on there. So
hell yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I didn't even know there was an Ace Attorney movie, and I want to watch that because that seems like such a weird, and it's like it's a fucking lawyer thing. It seems like a weird game to make a movie on.
Check it out. You'll be surprised by
Yeah.
how they adapted it for the silver screen. I'll,
Yeah.
I'll leave it at
Yeah.
that. I don't want to spoil everything.
Fair enough. So, all right.
Wow,
Kozibear,
we did it.
once again,
We truly did
congratulations,
something
and thank you so
incredible
much
today.
for Behind the Mask, even though Dex won. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are welcome to come back anytime, my friend, with any
Hell
game
yeah.
that you want. Okay?
Yeah. I got to bring a game. That's a condition. I got to figure something out there.
I'll be honest, we're not kind of funny. You don't have to bring a game. You can just bring your beautiful self. Okay?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do. They have a topic, I'm like, I'm here.
That's why, Dex, Dex is I will say this, I love you because there's been a few times where I've been like, hey, we have this idea that we're recording tomorrow. Can you jump on? And he's like, fuck yeah, I can. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, I like being included.
Yeah. No, but before we head out here, go ahead. Let's go with Dex. Tell people where they can find you, what you're streaming, what you're doing, what your schedule is, everything. Show off your fucking
well, you
shirt.
can find me. I have merch.
He does.
If you like merch, go to my Twitch channel. There's a link to it on the merch panel. So do that. It helps me, and I would love to see people in my merch.
What's your Twitch channel?
Twitch.tv/VerumDex. Find me there. That's where I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time till whenever I feel like it. And then any other social media you pretty much can find me on just at VerumDex. If it exists, I'm probably there, except for like Facebook. I don't really use Facebook anymore.
That's fair.
But yeah, so on the channel, we just finished a Kingdom Hearts series playthrough. So right now, it's Final Fantasy 14's been a big thing. Started Hollow Knight. I need to figure out where the fuck to go in that game because I feel very fucking lost right now. And I stream indie games that I get codes for on Mondays because I like to show those off. And then I'm going to be starting what looks like on my poll, Final Fantasy 2.
Goddamn.
The Pixel Remaster.
Fuck.
And then also Marvel Midnight Suns.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
That's what I voted for.
I know that's what you voted for because you're the
Marvel
first
Midnight
one to vote.
Suns is so fucking good. If
That's why I hear.
if you have a screen where you can read the text, it is great. That is why
But yeah,
it took
that's
me
a
so
big
long.
caveat there.
Yeah.
So those are 2 games from my backlog. We're going to be playing those,
Yeah.
and then once new games come out, we'll be adding those. So
Awesome. Yeah. At twitch.tv/VerumDex. Go ahead and drop him a follow if you have not followed him. And Kozibear, I love you. Where
See-
can people find you? What do you do?
The thing is, Dex is actually a smart streamer in that he actually streams multiple times a week. He actually has a schedule that's conducive to him.
Motherfucker,
getting
you're
more
wearing a
people
Twitch shirt.
More likely to tune in. Yeah, I am, but I'm not very. I suppose I'm not representative of a really good Twitch streamer because, in terms of my streaming efforts, obviously people might be aware that I'm part of the Respawning Fire podcast with Chad Michael Innes, Adam Gumbert, and Joel Campos. We typically stream over on twitch.tv/Affable Idiots every Sunday at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, independently of that, on my own personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Kozibear Live, and also on youtube.com/@Kozibear Live, I host a live cooking show called Kozibear's Cooking. However, Kozibear's Cooking is a seasonal show. I don't do it every week. And I actually just finished up season 5 of Kozibear's Cooking, and I'm now on a mini vacation before I come back with season 6, which will be debuting next month on September 25th. So if you're looking to watch a grown-ass Canadian man make some cool and funky and freaky and unusual Canadian dishes live on camera, you should keep those Twitch and YouTube channels bookmarked for September 25th when I will return, likely at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with a cool new cooking stream.
Awesome.
and
awesome.
I'm gonna add to that. my birthday is on September 23rd, so as a birthday present, you should go support Kozibear. So it's 2
Hell
days
yeah.
after. So that's my
Thank you,
birthday
Dex.
present from you all.
And my brother's birthday is September 25th, so, whatever.
Yeah, double reasons to go support
No,
Kozibear.
no,
Hell
don't
yeah.
don't lump that in.
I will say, the last time I tried making a birthday cake on Kozibear's Cooking, I made the Fallout birthday cake from the official Fallout cookbook, and it was kind of a disaster. So
enough.
I don't know that I'll celebrate either of your birthdays with birthday cakes.
That's okay.
But I'll definitely keep that in mind, and who knows, perhaps it will influence what I ultimately decide to make on that episode.
Any reason I can give to go support you, I'm going to do it. So I can guilt people,
Thank
like,
you.
give me a birthday
Nice.
present you have to pay for by supporting you.
Really,
Hell yeah.
really,
Thank
really
you.
quick. Dex, your little box here is right above Kozibear, so when you're doing this, you're like pointing right down at him, and it's adorable. It's fucking adorable.
I do want to mention real quick. I know. I apologize for
Take
spending
your time.
5
Take your
minutes here
fucking
chilling.
time, bruv.
Yeah, no.
Even though I'm right now in the middle of Seasons of Kozibear's Cooking, if you go over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@KozibearLive, KOZIBEARLIVE, you will be able to find not just, obviously, past saved versions of my past streams, but also highlight reels, usually between 15 and 20 minutes of my stream. So if you're like, I kind of want to see this guy make cool and interesting foods, but I don't want to spend a whole 2-3 hours of him futzing around in his basement, you can watch those. Much faster and a lot of fun. And
I'm
that is the
gonna
end of
say
my
something
shilling.
that's gonna sound like a diss, but I promise you it's not. You have an incredible fucking radio voice.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah,
Legitimately, you got a
seriously.
great voice.
Yeah.
You look beautiful too. Don't get me wrong, but your voice,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you have a very clear and very soothing sounding voice.
Thank
Meanwhile,
you. I
me-
truly
I am
appreciate
almost slurring because I've been drinking all night.
it. Well, I mean, that's the drinking.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, him.
stop
All
it.
right. Mike, what are you streaming this week? I know you were doing Armored Core on Monday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still banging my head against the wall that is the FromSoft game that isn't Elden Ring or one of the Souls games. So,
Are you still on that one boss?
no, I've progressed pretty far.
That's awesome. Let's go.
Yes. So I think I'm getting up to a point where I have to make a decision. So, but I don't know. Yeah, streaming Armored Core twice a week just because this is the only way I'm going to get through it. So with people watching me and telling me that I'm building my ArmoredCore completely fucking wrong.
That's not even
which has happened a few times.
That's not even a bad thing. That's why I'm streaming 14 because I've owned up to Endwalker for a while now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the only way I'm going to be able to get myself to actually play this is if I'm doing it for other people.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great reason. Streaming is a great excuse to play games you've not played.
Oh yeah, seriously. It's something that I pre-ordered and argued with somebody about pre-order. Yeah, Robert, I argued with Keaton about this. He's like,
I mean,
I'd never pre-order.
he's a smart kid.
Like, I'd never pre-order a game. He's like, I'd never pre-order a game. I'm like, this one I'm willing to pre-order.
Yeah.
Like, I got
no,
a feeling.
Like, I get why people say don't pre-order games, but there are certain games like, there's no way I'm not going to.
Oh
Yeah,
I mean,
like, this is what I'm like.
I think this year I don't know why I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna fucking pre-order Metaphor ReFantasio. I pre-ordered Persona 3 Reload. Like, if it's a game that I know that I'm gonna like it, and there's some sort of perk for me pre-ordering it, I will. If not, I'm just waiting till the day and I'm gonna buy it anyway. So whatever.
There you go. Anyway, twitch.tv/nerding for beginners, nerding for beginners on Instagram and Facebook, and youtube.com/@nerding for beginners. I'm trying to be better at putting clips and highlights and stuff up there because I know not everybody wants to watch on Twitch. So trying to give you as many outlets as possible. So
We gotta do that.
If
with
you
this
want to
podcast.
give me an early birthday gift, you should go and follow and watch Nerding for Beginners.
There we go.
watch me play a game and curse a lot. That's
Do
really
it.
what the streams are.
He's
Those are
not,
great
he's not
streams.
lying. He's not lying.
If I was alone in this house, oh boy, it would get way rough.
Yeah, and Mike and I we're working on some stuff for Extra Life this year. We're gonna have something planned. I don't know just yet.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dex, Kozibear, y'all are more than welcome to join in on our team. We're just trying to figure out some stuff that we want to do this year, but yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Same here.
I've
I'm also doing some with Extra Life.
Yeah.
So if you guys,
I've not done an Extra Life thing in some time because like what I do on streaming platforms isn't really conducive to that sort of thing. That is certainly something to consider.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
to consider.
in years past, I've had friends who just would like on my stream and like play a game for a minute, hop in the Discord, and then be like, "All right, well that was fun," and then just disappear. And I'm like, "That's all you got to do. Just show up, bring a couple people to watch, and So
yeah, one cool thing I'm doing for mine is I'm making specific merch for the stream. So
ooh,
that'll be part of giveaways and stuff like that. So
nice.
Cool.
And VerumDex, buy his merch. It's got a dope ass logo.
well, thank you.
And
Yeah.
he's just a beautiful soul, and I hope to see him in December, and I'm gonna give him a big ol' hug. And Kozibear, follow Kozibear. Fucking and I think this month, what month are we in? August. Kind of Funny is doing happy hours every week, and anybody can watch them on YouTube. And you called in last week, right?
Yes.
Is that okay?
I will not be appearing on the next happy hour, which I believe will happen sometime later this week because I will be in Toronto, Canada. But you can look forward to seeing me on the final happy hour, which will be towards the end of August. I forget the exact date, but I will be on it. Hopefully.
I believe the next.
I mean, this is all. Worth that this is all dependent on obviously whether there are like a bunch of people asking to step up to the podium or not. So maybe they might not call me up, but if I am able to, I will be on it.
I think when this comes out, the next happy hour I believe is tomorrow on Friday, and then there'll be another one next week that is public. Yeah, check out any of them that you can get access to, and fucking Canadian town or wrestling name, just.
That's amazing. Robert sent me that, and I'm like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, Robert said that one to me too.
Yeah,
I just want to say, like, I love people like you in the community that do these really creative stuff. Whether it's like Cameron French doing the merch, you doing these like game stuff, and I just think it's a really cool part of the community that just interacts with Kind of Funny in these ways.
Hey, thank you, genuinely, thank you.
Yeah. All my dumbass did was get a tattoo, so
I come in the streams and I'm like, "Hi,
hi everybody."
I've gotten to meet him like once or twice.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, Kozibear. Thank you for the game. Dex, thank you for being our judge. Mike, thank you for being beautiful. And I'm gonna hit the outro music. We will see you all next week with a different topic and some different guests, maybe. I don't know yet. And thank you so much. Please follow VerumDex and Kozibear. Mike has a thing there. He's
a fortune cookie.
A fortune cookie. Fortune.
By the way, if you wanna follow me on the social medias, I'm usually at Alex Kazina, ALEXKZINA. The person that got Kozibear on Twitter didn't want to give up the username when I asked him about it. So
Bastard.
don't follow him. Follow
we will have those links in the bottom, but we are now being overwhelmed by the outro music. Bye.